said you good in 5 question mark. Okay, I think we're doing Powerwash Sim. I want to make sure I have all the DLC. What DLC should I have? Let me see. SpongeBob. I did that one with Mouse. So I don't want to go back and do that one again. I want to do one I haven't done. Ooh, there's a Wallace and Gromit one. I'm telling her to get the Wallace and Gromit DLC. Purchase. Nice. Okay, it's downloading it. I'm opening. Oh, why does it always open on the other monitor? Stop doing this, Powerwash Sim. There we go. Full screen windowed. Okay. Check it out. Okay, whenever she calls, I'm gonna do challenge mode. Nope, it doesn't let me do it because I don't have any unlocked. No. Clothing. Ooh. Look at that. I'm gonna look so good. Even though I have the money for these, I can't buy these. Yeah, we got Wallace and Gromit. Ooh, hold on. I gotta make sure I have the Shrek one. Hold on. Okay, then I'm gonna close game and then reopen it with Shrek. Harry Potter DLC would be fun. It would be. I think the IP got too much shit because people are mad at the creator. I think it'd be really nice if a company that has rights to it just like bought her out of it. I just don't think she'll ever give up on it. But the IP has so much potential to still do well as its own thing. But who in their right mind would sell off? You know? And she could just sit there and collect money forever. But it would be nice. It would be nice. Is she calling you? Yeah, I can see it on the side. I'm clicking some buttons first before I get in a call with somebody. Just relax, dude. Oh my god, why can you hear it? Why is streamer mode not on? Does OBS not do it automatically? Huh? This happened last stream too, that there was a Discord sound and OBS didn't just make streamer mode happen. I think a Discord update might have done that. It hasn't for you either? I think the most recent update changed that. That's terrible if so. Let me see. Yeah, 4 days ago, Discord app.
Hello.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm doing good. I just realized that
Yes.
recent recent Discord update makes it so that you would open OBS and it would just automatically turn on streamer mode on Discord.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
Is it doing that
anymore.
again?
No,
Yeah, because
it
I don't
doesn't.
hear when people call me. I heard it on my phone, but not on.
For me, so I'm used to OBS, like I open it and then it turns on streamer mode, which means like chat doesn't hear all the weird sounds.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't automatically do it. I have to do it manually. It's interesting.
It is what it is.
It is
So,
what
Giga,
it is. Yeah.
do you want to do? Giga said she wants Wallace and Gromit or Shrek.
Yeah.
I got
have
both. So whichever one you want. Me too.
Oh,
You wanna any mini miny moe it? How do you want to do this?
sure. Unless chat feels some type of way where they really want one of them.
Ooh, I don't know.
Is there one
I'm
you
excited.
want?
So, for anybody that's just tuning in, if you do not know Auntie Giga, would you tell them something about yourself?
Hello, I'm Giga. Hello. And I lost my accent from talking to people on the internet too much.
Oh, you had like a crazy,
Yeah.
like New York
It
Oi!
was pretty strong.
Oh no.
It
I
was
do
pretty
feel like
strong.
I hear it when you're talking to other New Yorkers. You
Yeah,
become more
it's
New
not
York,
completely
and I love it.
gone. It's not completely gone at all. And like, if I talk to certain people, it comes back out. But then I don't know. Certain words you can hear it, but other
Yeah.
things, it is nowhere near what it used to be.
What's your most New York word that you say?
I just leave the G's off of stuff. Something, something.
Something.
I don't know.
Something ain't right.
Not I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know.
I don't know. Chat. What do I do?
Wait. Yeah.
I'll ask my own
As for
chat. What
me,
do you do?
everybody coming into Giga, hi. You probably know me, Matara Khan from Independent. I just
Hello.
want to yap. Honestly, like I love having yapping streams, and I feel that having a little game in the background just, gets us talking, gets us yapping. I kind of
Exactly.
use this stream as an excuse to catch up with my friends. Because I'm like, what
Yep.
you been up to? I saw, by the way, oh my god, during the summer game fest, they had that mafia game. I'm like, Giga is geeking out right now.
I've been
You
I've been replaying the
I saw.
trilogy like to rev up for it because I'm so excited. I want the game so
And
badly.
so you're gonna be playing the what was it like the old world?
Yeah, that's the new one is the old world because the old world
Yeah, it's like the
when
prequel, right?
yeah, exactly. Well, when we refer to the old world, we're talking about Sicily. Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
just talking about that.
yeah.
So like yeah, this
It's
one
like the
instead of
old
being set
country.
there, exactly. So like the first games are set in like Chicago, the New York, like it's America and it's
The
Italians from
Americas.
America.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, the old world is gonna be like full in Sicily. It's gonna be
Hold
good.
on, let me turn you down a bit. I had my volume up at the maximum
Ah!
ah,
Ah!
because Summer Games Fest was really not well
Oh my
optimized.
god. Tell me about it. And some individual showcases that happened after that too. I felt like
Uh-huh.
every game trailer I had to like adjust the volume. I kept like bouncing it higher and lower. And I was like, oh my
Every
god, what's
game
happening?
trailer, it was so
Uh-huh.
maximum volume. And people were like, I can't hear. I'm like, you don't understand? It never should my volume be going this high up. Like I should
Mm-hmm.
never have my volume be at 100% on everything for you. Like that's not
Yeah.
so. Mm,
Exactly. I was doing the same shit.
mhm.
Lurk, thank you for that
Hold on.
10. Huge.
Gifted. Anything that you saw that you thought was like, ooh, other than so it was the Mafia game, of course.
There was a lot and I like legitimately can't recall, but I stuffed my wish list. My wish list got like 10 more things on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be playing Mind's Eye on the 10th. That's coming out
Ooh.
soon. That's
Wait, let me look that up. Mind's Eye?
yeah. Same publisher as Hitman, and then the people that are going to
Oh,
be
wait.
publishing the
Yeah,
new
we were
Bond
with
game.
the 007. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
same publisher.
so your game. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm excited for. Well, Mind's Eye, it's made by the guy that made a lot of the old GTA games. He was like directing a lot
Okay.
of the older ones. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very like drive around third person shooter. Drift a car, shoot somebody. It's but
Respectfully, what a
without the brand.
handsome man.
Yeah, the main
Oh my
character.
god! Like, no. The director who was directing
Mm.
the the director of the game. Let me show like
Yeah.
respectfully, with all respect given. Wow. I know it's a black and white picture, so it does extra work, but
Good old Leslie Benzies.
wow. This is straight from the Wikipedia, by the way. So don't say there's anything weird going on, but wow. Right? Be respectful. Me saying respectfully he looks great is
That is
respectful.
respectful. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna be playing Mind's Eye soon. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then there were a lot of games
Mhm.
that looked good. Some of them I feel like there was a good number of them that I kind of already knew about, but they're like, okay, it's finally coming out. Here's gameplay, so that was good to see.
Yeah. How about this? Let's jump into the game because that I love this because you're also, you've been in this industry for a while, you've seen a lot of stuff, or you've been into gaming for a while. So I want to
Mm.
talk about like stuff from 13 years ago, being excited about games back then, blah blah blah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Shrek or WNG?
Let's do Shrek.
Okay.
Let's do Shrek.
It's a good thing you picked because I was gonna pick the other one.
I'm fine
All
with
right.
both.
I'm gonna come in, and you can join off of me once I
Okay,
do co-op.
I will do that. I'm gonna have to run away from you for 1 second to refill my
Okay.
water, though. Should I do
Oh
that
yeah, if
first?
you want to do that, we can get that started before we get into like all the big
Yeah.
conversations
I'm
and
like, let me
stuff.
do that
Yeah.
now instead of like we're mid
Mhm.
conversation. I'm like,
Oh yeah, the
see ya.
first Shrek map is huge.
Ooh, okay.
How is this for volume, by the way? On on my end, that's always like getting the water sounds just right. Too loud, good enough. How we feeling when I'm talking over it? La 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 la
La
la
la
la
la
la.
la la.
Volume is low. Perfect. Let me turn it up.
I'm gonna hit
Oh,
join
others are
game.
saying good. Let me turn it up a
Do they
tiny little
really know
bit.
what they want?
Yeah, Momo's. Yeah, I definitely want a little bit of the water sound
Oh, you
because
look
then it's my
cute.
reminder to pee, you
Okay,
know?
I will be right back. I'm
Okay.
going to refill my water.
Geegoids, Geeglers, it's me, Auntie Matawa. I'm here to take care of you. Are you geeking out at the moment? By the way, Geegoids, I need to tell you about this crazy deal going on. It is okay. You're basically going to be printing money. Twitch is doing this thing that if you give 5 gifted subs to Giga or more, it's actually to everybody, but let's just pretend because we like pretending that it's just to Giga. You save 35%. So hear me out. Hear me out. If you gift 100 subs to Giga right now, you will only pay for 65 of them. Isn't that crazy? You're saving, you're printing money. That is insane. That is so much money in savings. What the? Oh wait, she's on the Not Giga channel. Okay, if you gift to Not Giga right now, think about it. If you pay for 10 gifted subs, she will receive the 10 gifted subs, but you will only pay for 6.5. Isn't that crazy? What 6.5 subs cost? $50? No, wait, sorry, that was a bad joke. I wanted to do like the Arrested Development where they're like, how much could a banana cost? 12 bucks? But instead, no, I actually do think that many subs cost $50. So that ruined my whole joke. God damn it. Yeah, how much could 6.5 subs cost? $1? Come on, you guys. You are saving money as we speak. As we speak, if you gift 5 subs or more, you will be saving 35%. And if you think about it, that 35% you spend, you can go and spend it on coffee because now it's free money in your wallet that didn't get taken while you're supporting Geekler, the Giga. Hi Oshi, how you doing? Um, so I'm just letting you know it's on for a whole week. But what you can do is every day you can give Giga 5 subs and then take the money that you save and go buy yourself a coffee. It's true. I blocked the gift sub button, as you should, Coretta. It is dangerous for you. It is gosh dang dangerous for you. Thank you, Mostly Lurk, and thank you for the 10 gifted too. I really appreciate it. I'm just letting y'all know. It is a big steal, a big deal. It's happening. It's hot. It's delicious. Um, Giga will not eat you, but I might. Just remember, it's basically free money. You're getting money for free. If you save $35 or if you save 35% of your money, you are now allowed to go and spend that money elsewhere, right? Like that's how savings work. All the money that you save that you don't spend, you then get to spend it another time. So you get to spend the money again. And with that, that's what they mean when they say great big savings ahead, you know? Save the money, I mean spend the money that you've been saving. Yeah, when she comes back, I'm actually gonna go get my sparkling water. I'm gonna go get my sparkling water too. You're basically 35%ing your money. When was the last time you got 35% of something for free? Well, this time you're saving 35%, which is basically like getting it for free. And remember, because you're getting that 35% for free, you then get to spend it elsewhere. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that exciting? I love girl math. I love girl math. Oh my God. Mathematics is my passion. Uh, my life savings, not my passion. Mathematics, definitely my passion. Love mathematics. You can only see chat and Matara, not much of the game. Well, that's because I haven't decided where I'm gonna put. Oh yeah, I am kind of big, huh? kind of big. I'm sorry I said that in that tone. I'm so sorry. That is really, oh God. And the geegoids are here and they're going to be like, Matara, what the heck? I'm so sorry. That was, I,
What in the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry. Okay. I will be right back. I'm going to get ice and I'm going to get a sparkling water. You entertain now.
Oh man, I have to entertain them, but why do I need to entertain chat when chat could just entertain themselves by gifting subs in Matara Khan's chat? That's right. They're 35% off right now, which means you're practically saving $1,000 every time you gift 5 subs. Isn't that crazy? It's like you're robbing Twitch. There's no reason not to. It would make her happy. Don't you want her to be happy? Oh man, and wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? Look at me. Founder's badge. 20-month sub streak in her channel. That's right. That's right. Exactly. What's your sub streak, huh? Huh? Is it 20 months with the founder's badge? No? Sounds like you need to gift more subs. That's what that sounds like.
I've returned.
Welcome back.
And we used to give our paychecks to our wives. Do it again.
Times have changed.
Times have changed.
I was talking to Chad about earlier. I was like, what do you consider a high value man? They're like cringe dudes that are like, I'm a high value man.
Yeah.
I was like, Chad, what do you think is a high value man? I think it's a man that just gives his paycheck, personally.
Yeah, to his wife. I will have to say this though, even in the medieval times, right, with the whole like high value man, whatever, women would still fall for like the cute guy down the street singing, I don't know, with his little guitar.
He's so nice to me.
I know, he's so cute and he plays his little
he's an artist.
Ukulele so nicely.
I understand the appeal. I do get it. The little ukulele player down the street.
I am a simple woman. I just want to. I listen. My standards. I just want a man who likes me for me, wants to hang out with me quite often, wants to do activities with me quite often. Wants to like go for walks, watch movies, cook. If he wants to work a high stress, high paying job, good for him. If he doesn't, I don't mind. Edible, he's got to be edible. I got to be able to cannibalize his body.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It makes him more delicious. Mm-hmm. What made you bring up high value men and like how does that even start as a discourse?
I don't remember what we were talking about in chat.
What videos are you watching?
I think I just saw like a cringe Twitter post. I think that's what it was earlier.
There's a lot of those on Twitter. I do not blame you.
Oh yeah.
I do not interact with them, and I still see them too. I get you. I get you.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it was just someone like complaining that they got dumped, and they're like, I don't understand because I'm a high value man. I was like,
it's like, well, did you listen? Do you care? Like, I think
Are you emotionally available, sir?
Are you just, if I call you with the problem, are you like, good old Ball and Shane again?
Here's the complaint train.
Yeah. Are you like, babe, let me crack open a bottle of wine. Let's hang out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I definitely want to get back on this, but can we go back to the video games? Just because I am curious.
100%.
What other video games did you see that you thought were? Are you big on like the Souls likes?
I do like Souls likes. I do.
Okay.
I don't always stream them. I
Somebody
like
called
to
it
like head empty, play them
roll
alone in a
swap.
dark room wrapped in a blanket.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lies of P DLC is coming out,
Yep.
and I'm gonna be
Yep.
just
I think people are already playing it, no?
yep. And I'm just gonna be like, chat, don't talk to me.
No, don't talk
Wrapped
to
like a
me. Don't look at
burrito.
me. Oh, that is actually I feel that. I was talking a little bit earlier about how people were asking me if I'm excited about any game or anything like that, and I was like,
Mhm.
look, honestly, I don't really keep up with a lot of games at the moment. It's hard for me to get excited because things get announced and then I don't see them for 5 years. And there's a million other
Yes.
games coming out every time that I just lose interest.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I'm getting really tired of the hype cycle being so long.
Yeah.
It's just okay, in my opinion, I think it's
I have
just
my
bad
little TikTok
marketing.
brain.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it's bad marketing because it's like it keeps people like, checking your dev blog or they're like, "Oh my god, did you know this game's coming out?" But like I don't know, the constant like barely changed teaser that's seeing it once every year with two visual updates, like it just I don't know. I get so like gamed out by the time the game is actually releasing. Whereas if they
Mm.
do it like just a stealth drop and they just go boop, here it is, like with the Oblivion remaster, like
Yeah.
that is my most favorite thing.
I also understand that like a stealth drop doesn't always work. Like you
Yeah, yeah.
still want to kind of like promote stuff and get stuff going,
Should
and
be
I get
something.
it. Oh my god, can you give me one quick second? My momos are
Mm-hmm.
acting up. I need to go. I need to go give them the whip. Give me one moment.
Of course, of course. I like it like that. In our DMs, she sent me a picture of the guy, Leslie Benzies. 3 to 4 months of hype is perfect. Yeah, I like a 6 month lead time or less because that gives me enough time to plan out like my general streaming schedule.
I just had to commend my viewers for saving money because for the
Mm.
price of 100, for the price of 65 gifted subs, somebody got to give me 100. It's a steal. They're basically
Ooh, you're
saving money. Like it's money
saving.
in their pocket. Yeah.
That's what I was
And then
telling
you
them
get
when
to
I sat
spend
back down in my
platinum.
chair. I said,
Yeah.
guys, do you want to save money today?
Yeah. Gift 5 subs or more to twitch.tv/not
Exactly.
giga. It's so easy.
It's so
But
easy.
I may have brought back corporal punishment. I did bring
Mm.
back timeouts for subs for today and tomorrow only
Okay.
because of the promotion. Listen, I am a business roach through and through, you know. Um it's not above me or beneath me. It's just there and I take what I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh uh
Uh,
oh, sorry. I'm getting a little stud locked right. I'm so sorry, Giga.
You're all good.
Uh, my momos, I think, are a little bit out for blood. I think I've been feeding them really good. I promise them that tomorrow I am gonna be showing them all my TikTok likes and saves. So
Ooh.
yeah, I've sent some good TikToks.
I
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a bingo card of what I think is on there, and
Oh,
I'm gonna see.
please! Oh my God, do it. I've sent you a few so you might know, but
I know
that's
I
good.
know
Do a
some of
bingo
the
card.
tastes, but people's
Oh yeah, yeah,
algos
yeah.
go like in weird directions, so
What
you
do,
never
okay,
know.
what do you think I saved the most of? Like, what do you think I like the most?
I don't know, but I hope it's Donut Daddy.
What's donut? No, I actually don't save any of like the mentor's
Yeah,
traps.
no, I don't think you actually would. I think ooh, I don't know. Little like videos of people restocking their drawers.
Oh, I like watching those, but I never like save them.
Oh,
I
okay,
do
okay.
like
If it
those restocks.
saves, yeah. I feel like you would save
How
stuff
does
that's
it?
like good for utility, like a how to do something, and then you'd be like, ooh. need that for later, and you'd save it.
Okay, you know me too. Okay, in real time, like if I just had a TikTok for my own personal use, yes, I actually do that. I save recipes, I save gym workouts, I save stuff. But because this is like memes and friends, I save like a lot of cat videos and things like that. It's stuff that I can tell the audience about. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did soul read me there. Let's go.
I know you. I know you. You're the type to like you don't want it to slip through the cracks, so you'll just bookmark everything.
I do, but I also have kind of noticed that sometimes I kind of got on this habit of bookmarking like healthy habits or healthy recipes and then never making them. So I'm at a point now where if I bookmark a recipe, I make it, and then because otherwise I just never make. I have a million bookmarked recipes for what? Why do I bookmark them?
Yeah, I've run into that issue, and what I do now is I have two things. I have like my normal browser bookmarks, and that has folders, and I actually do look through those. But for
Giga is
bookmarking,
the
like
most organized person I know. I just have to say,
I don't think I'm organized, but then other people always say I am, and I'm like maybe I'm just not being comparative here. Like I don't feel organized though.
You have things like sorted in folders all the time. It feels like.
Is that a lot?
That is a lot. Have you seen my desktop or like my
Okay,
everything for
true.
me is either on my desktop or in my downloaded folder. That's how I find everything all the time.
Fair.
I'm not kidding.
Oh
Or
my
Discord
God.
pin. I just pin things in Discord and that's how I find them.
Yeah, well, actually, I was gonna say like, I do use Discord a lot though. So like, if it's a spot I know I'm gonna check like a folder with bookmarks on my browser, I'll do it. But when I bookmark things on like mobile, I never ever go back to check that. So instead, I grab the link and I have my own personal like work and life Discord server.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
smart.
one chat in there that is just like processing. So I just dump stuff in there and then I go and look at it and sort it later into a spot where I'll like actually maybe look at it.
Yeah.
And it also gives me the chance to give it a second look and be like, do I actually want to bookmark this? So I kind of
I
clean
like
up
that.
as I do that. Yeah.
Giga, I have to apologize. You need to give me a moment. My momos, they were
Go ahead,
behaving, they
go
were
ahead.
nice, and then the moment we got into the collab, I'm so sorry. Geekoids, could you please do me a favor? Could you please give some gifted subs to Giga to distract her? Please, I will be
No, I'm
right
so
back,
locked
Giga.
in. No. No. Is this a stool? Whoa. Durbington, thank you for the 10. I appreciate it. They are running a June promotion. And everything is 35% off, which is huge, actually. It's huge. So I appreciate it. If you take advantage of that, I appreciate it. It is a better time for you to do it. This is the best time. Because I appreciate generosity, but I want you to also make sure you're not doing anything out of your means, you know? Always. 300 incoming. Yeah, you know, I don't really like push hard for Partner Plus here, but it is very appreciated because then there are some people who just come here because they're here for the content that's on this channel. And some of them will be like, yeah, I wish my sub would go and give you the cut that your normal stuff gets as well. So,
Hi,
very
Giga.
appreciated.
I'm back.
Hi.
Yeah, like I said, I brought back corporal punishments, and the momos just love it. They're like, yeah, guillotine everybody.
They can't get enough.
They can't get
I
enough.
feel
It's
like a
like
lot of chats are like that, but especially them, like more than I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also because I took it out for a while. For a while, they were hungry and they didn't get to time out people for money. So now everyone's like, yeah, war is back on the menu, baby! To arms!
Maybe I should do that
You
for
know?
this month since it's so cheap, since you're practically saving money.
Absolutely. I mean, I've said this before. Steal from me and my ideas because I stole my idea from someone. 50 gifted,
It's the old
3-day timeout.
3-day. Ooh.
If they do 100, either 2 people for 3 days or for a week, you give them the extra day. If like, you know what, if you do one person, but watch out. Because they could time out everybody and then you just won't be getting raids for like that week.
True.
So watch out. It has made both Bricky and Lime unable to raid me many, many, many times. So I will say that. But if it's a true friend, I want them to profit off of my corpse. No?
Exactly.
Yeah. What's a little bit of profiteering between friends?
That's how we do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So back to like the whole cycle with games and stuff. Yeah, I feel like back in 2011, 2013, 2012 with E3 and everything, I was more excited. I was looking forward to stuff. There was
Yeah.
also less games in general, it felt like.
I think the concentration of games, there's so many and a lot of them look good. And it's like the illusion that like, oh, I have so much to pick from, but realistically you only have just so much time. So now you just get like choice paralysis instead, and you're
And
like,
also
God,
so many
what do I play?
genres, right? Like, oh, it's a Souls-like, or somebody called it roll slop. So if it's a Souls-like, yeah, there's so many games, but if 20 of them are Souls-like, so you don't really have that much choice. You can choose between the Souls-likes. You can choose between the FPSs. You can choose between,
Yeah.
But there's so many games out there, as you said.
Yeah, and I feel like I want to play a lot of them, but I do not have that time. And especially as a streamer, like,
Yup.
it's unfortunate, but some chats like more, instead of you completing every game, they prefer you just starting new ones and taking a quick look and then moving to the next.
Yep.
So you don't
And I
get
know
to play
they'll say
through a
that
lot
they
of them.
don't, but hey, why is it that every time people play a new game, high viewership,
The
3
data
days
does
into new
not
game,
lie.
a quarter of that viewership? Come on, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's like the core audience, like there's a good number of
Yeah.
them that would still like that, but overall there's a big difference.
Also, Tom, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Thanks,
Giga and I
Tom.
are playing Powerwash. Are you in the stream together, by the way? Did you join it?
Yes, I should be in
Yay!
there.
Y'all can find her and check her out. Thank you again for the raid, Tom. We're talking about everything. We're just hag yapping.
Yeah.
Please grab a drink, grab a
Just chilling.
whichever. Sorry, what were we saying right before I interrupted you rudely?
I don't remember.
Oh,
That's okay.
Okay, I was gonna compliment you that you're actually one of the few streamers that is, because once you become a big streamer, I do agree. I think most people are kind of expecting you to be always chasing the trend or always
Yeah.
just because you're kind of like getting viewers in and out. You're one of the few big streamers I know that you will actually keep your viewership, and the whole time you play a long story game. Like you playing games like Hitman or
Yeah.
Mafia, you actually
It depends on
keep
the
high
game, but
viewership.
yeah, if I do keep with something, I think it's because I pick stuff that I know my community would like. Or like I know is more exciting to actually watch through. Some things are so exciting to watch, but after you've seen 3 hours of it, you've seen it all,
Yeah.
And like just because something is really fun to play doesn't mean it's fun to watch. And our job is to let you watch
Oh,
something, not to
My
just.
my mom said you joined with
drool for
main
you.
Giga. You didn't join with not Giga though.
Oh, did I?
It's funny. It's
I could do
whatever.
that.
Whatever's easier.
Did you
Thank
want
you,
to
Zero.
slam the chats together, make them kiss?
I actually kind of want it, if that's okay, because I put
Yeah,
mine on
yeah.
slow mode, and then sometimes I ask them to spin and spam, and like I like them talking. I'm trying to encourage them talking to each other more. Like in Zen's stream, whenever things happen, they
Yeah.
like kiss each other and they go to bed like good night, handsome. So I'm trying to encourage more like romantic hand holding and kissing in
I love it.
my stream.
Yeah, let me do it on here.
I want them to get together.
Look, now we're
more.
all in here.
Yeah.
It's me and me.
Yeah. Oh my god, me and both my hot gigas that I got.
I love having an alt channel, man.
Talk to
I
me
love
about
it. I could just sit here, pick my nose, say nothing, game a little. I could become
True.
Forsen, right? Where I say nothing and then chat pops off, and then occasionally I turn to chat and I'm like, yo, that was crazy.
That was crazy, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
so funny. See, I am of the opposite, where I feel maybe it's because I also maybe because I have been streaming for, I have to calculate. I think it's close to 14 years now. Or like I have to check. It's either I'm going on my 14th or my 15th year of streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to be live 7 days a week. As
That
much
is
as I love
completely
it,
fair.
I'm actually at a point now where because I do have like, when I was 15 years ago, 15 years younger, maybe not great friendships like I have now, maybe not great relationship with my parents, maybe not, like streaming was an escape
I'm
from day
muting
to
while
day
she's talking.
stuff.
She has no idea I'm
Now
muted.
streaming adds to
Holy
all the amazing
fuck,
day to day
Milky.
stuff I
Thank you
do.
for
So
a
I actually
100
prefer having a day off where I'm like, oh my God, Momos.
gifted subs. That's
For example,
fucking
Giga,
insane. You're
I went to
saving
the United States today.
so much
I
money.
bought groceries and stuff. On a
She has no
$450
idea.
bill, I got
Thank you so,
$200 in
so, so much. I
tariffs.
appreciate
Isn't
that.
that fun? Isn't that a fun story to talk about? Isn't that exciting?
I think. No, I get you though.
I think. Um, but yeah, I just feel that I kind of enjoy having a few days off where I get to do stuff or work on things and then
Mhm.
talk to them about it. Plus, I mean, we've talked about this before that some people who get into VTubing, they feel like they have to do song covers, they have to do projects.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go live, never have an outfit. It does not matter. You do not need outfits. You do not need songs. But
No.
I kind of like it. Now that I know that I have a
It's fun to
core
do that kind of
audience,
stuff. Yeah.
like now that I know that whatever project I do won't really like it'll still get at least 100 people enjoying it. It makes me want to do
Enough
stuff.
to feel like
you know?
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes me want to do it.
Exactly.
Makes
I
me
mean,
want to
that's
work
that's
on
what those
that.
kinds of projects are for. It's more because you just want to, you know, which is nice. That's why I do like the outfits that I do, like the choices on what I'm
Oh,
doing or whatever. It's just like cause I felt like it. you
and I
know.
love that you've been tying it in with some of your favorite games as well. That is just number one
Yeah.
marketing.
That's the thing that I want to keep doing with publishers and everything is like I want to keep when a game is coming out, like partner with them to do something. And
Yeah,
I have quite a few of them that have been open to it, but
I think
like yeah,
it's a
Monster Hunter was a big one.
win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah,
For
I get a
everybody
nice
involved.
outfit. I get the
Mm-hmm.
blessing that I'm allowed to do something that looks like the IP without getting sued, which is great
Yep.
because they
Yep.
said
Yep.
yes,
Yep.
this
Yep.
is okay. And then
Yep.
it helps with them for like whatever marketing campaign they're doing because it's way cooler than me just being like, yeah, I streamed the game, I guess.
Yeah. Hmm. I have a T-shirt that you can't see.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no, you're actually the character. Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah, stuff like that's really fun. So trying to do more of
Um,
those.
I'm excited to see more of those from you. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, it's one of those where I feel that before streaming was an escape, and I definitely had like a
Mm,
gaming addiction, right? Who didn't? But
yeah.
now I see gaming as I want it to add healthily, and I say gaming, but even streaming, I want it to be a healthy bonus to my life. So that's why I really, as much as I know that a side channel would be good, I think maybe eventually when I'm going and doing a little bit less projects and starting less things,
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
consider one. Talk me like about, is that really like the big up for you is just you can kind of go live
Mm.
whenever and
Yeah,
um
because like I like to keep the main channel consistent, and like my start times aren't always the exact same time. I used to be
true.
like so punctual with it, and I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? As of late, I've been enjoying just kind of like keeping within a
Yeah.
block. But it's about the content too. There's some games where I play them, I really like them, but I'm like I can't do this on the main channel.
Yeah.
like this much time on it. I just
Can you give me an
can't. I don't
example of a
want to.
game that just so for anybody listening they'd
Honestly,
have an
honestly,
example?
Blueprints. I love that game so much. I played a lot of it, like
I
most of it.
swear I was gonna give the same example.
Yeah, so I played the majority of it. I'm still going through some on my main channel, but there was a point when you get to like very like post game, end game, late game stuff, where I'm just it's almost like I'm grinding a little bit, and
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind
Whenever the
doing
game
that.
gets into like that,
Yeah, it gets really like deep into it, and I'm just kind of like redoing my days over and over to try and get one specific
yeah,
occurrence, you know?
item or something.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't want to stream that part of it. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm either recording it because I don't feel the need to do everything on my alt stream live. I just
Yeah,
want to have the
yeah.
footage. So I either stream that or I
Smart.
record it and then I could update them on it or put it on my VOD's channel or whatever. So stuff
Ooh,
like that is good for
I
the
now
alt
have to
channel.
ask.
Hmm.
Is there any game you play offline? I guess you already answered with the Souls
Hmm.
like, where it's like you need to play this offline. Because for me personally, like I have some games,
Mm.
I have usually like it's the same like Crusader Kings or something, or maybe Civ or like a little tactics game. I just need to play a game offline. Typically, a
Yeah.
lot of the Northern Line games, I play them offline.
Hmm. For me,
So,
it's
what about you?
honestly like my favorite IPs. Sometimes I will just save those for off stream because
Mm,
I enjoy playing games on stream, but when it's when it's like very important to me, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want to stream this. I just want to play it alone in my room, you know?
Mhm.
And like that's it cuz the immersion you feel is different when you're not streaming it.
True.
It's mostly an immersion thing. So, like Armored Core 6, I did
Ooh,
not
yeah, yeah,
stream
yeah.
that. And my chat had a lot of people that were like, I can't wait to watch you play Armored Core because I talked about
Sorry.
how I love the series. I've been a fan for forever. I've
Mhm.
played all, blah, 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 you know. And I was like, sorry guys, I'm actually not going to play this on stream at all because this is
You know what
mine.
though? I got to watch her play. I was a bug inside her walls. I got to watch.
Yes,
It was a private stream for me.
that's right.
Sorry, everybody.
Private showing.
Yep, yep. I always feel like it, and also that's another thing with streaming. Things can change, right? Like even for the seasons, for example, where let's say right now I'm enjoying streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but maybe in the winter when I'm not going to want to go outside as much, I'm going to be back to 6 days, like 9 hour days. Maybe sometimes when
Mm,
there's a really fun game and you're like, all right, everybody, we're doing 12-hour days every day because I'm
yep.
addicted, right? You still want to have a semblance of a schedule, but things change. And like I said, maybe in 2 years when I'm like, I don't want to do any projects and I would discover a new hobby or game, but like it might just be all the time.
Yeah.
So it's really good about streaming. It does,
Exactly.
obviously, if you build your audience at a certain time slot, it would be hard. Like it's hard to just switch 12 hours, right? But
Yeah.
still, I think it's even that is doable. Even switching your time slot by 12 hours, I think is doable.
It's possible.
And you
Yeah.
could still make it work. Yeah. Ooh, I gotta bring you to the best place. Hold on, where are you? I want I want you to
Cleaning the
experience this.
wagons.
Come, 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 come.
Okay, okay,
I need
okay.
you to clean something because I've already cleaned this map before. So
Mm-hmm.
I need you to clean these guys. This information board, just clean it.
Oh my god, it's the little puppet show.
We are gonna
Oh,
watch it. The little like statuettes or whatever they're
yeah.
called. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's right. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh.
Yeah. Ooga
Oh
booga.
my god. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
get better than this. It does not. Okay, last ones. Yes. Oh my god. I could do that all day.
Right? That's why I'm like, this is a very special thing. You only get in this, and I needed you to experience that.
Thank you so much. It was
You're
beautiful.
welcome. Was it as good for you as it was for us?
It was incredible. It's euphoric.
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt anything like that.
Right. Uh-oh. I got a new YouTube editor and he's
Hmm.
really, really great. He's got the second channel, Kaiser, and he's like,
Hmm.
Matara, could you mute your alerts, please, while you girls are talking? And I'm like, oh my god,
I
you're
love that.
right. Yeah, yeah. I think soon gone are going to be the days of the 100 gift sub alert. Because right now
Yeah,
it plays every sub individually. I love it
I think
though.
when I was
Oh, I
like
love
a
it.
much smaller streamer, I loved having like my alerts be obnoxious and all over the place and everything, and like
Yeah.
every single thing that happened, I'd be like, yeah. But over time, it happened so much that I was like, I think if I was a viewer, I'd start to get pissed. I'd be like, I keep hearing that sound, you know. So,
My viewers are nice. To my
mm.
stream, they'll say like, haha, I love that I go to bed and hear the sound. But I'm sure some people are thinking, you freaking.
Yeah.
That being said,
Depends on the sound though.
we
Depends on
don't
the alert.
always have them up. We don't always have them up as loud and stuff. It's just like I said,
Yeah.
I haven't been doing the 50 gifted for timeouts, but today everyone was like, what's that? I can buy a timeout?
Hmm.
What? So everyone's going crazy. Thank you again, y'all. Um, All right, I did it. I did it. Yeah,
Nice.
with gaming and stuff, it's and I might be going through a phase again soon where I'll just find a game where I'll decide, for this month I want to lock in and play. This is where I love how good it is to be your own boss and to make your own
Mm-hmm.
hours. And when you first start making content, right, it's very important to be on top of your game always at the same time. But after you've kind of have a little bit of a name, you can
You have a
you
lot
can
more
do a little
freedom.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Matama. Thank you, Kaiju. Oh. Yeah, you do get a lot more freedom.
I think it's nice to let
Back to
yourself go on an arc. I will say, depending on the arc, like people may love or hate it. So you're definitely like
true.
marrying yourself to something for a while.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it, you should do it because you want
And the
to.
thing too with people hating it, there's also going to be a lot of people that are going to really love it. So it's
Yeah,
I
it
used
usually
to
outweighs it.
when I was a much smaller creator, I used to feel guilty if a viewer was like, "Oh, I don't really like this game. I'll come back in a month." I used to
Mm,
genuinely. I was also younger, and I was like, I was taking it very personally. But now I kind of also have to realize where you as the viewer have such an amazing choice of people to watch, of content to watch,
yeah,
of YouTube, Twitch, podcast, television, Netflix, HBOs, right? If you don't like something that I'm doing for a few streams, watch the other cool stuff you like. And if
exactly.
and if I'm lucky and you come back, awesome. But if not, like I'm sure you've also had it where your favorite streamer starts playing a game that you don't really enjoy watching. So you you go out and then there's people that you enjoy watching no matter what they play.
Yeah. And
So
that's the thing is
it
I
really
have a lot of people that will just watch anything. like
depends.
like they don't care as long as they get the experience of me talking, me interacting, me, like cuz they're just there to hang out or like sometimes it's not
The
even me, it's
experience
just the
of
community.
other, yep, the
Yeah.
geekoids, the rest of the community.
Mhm.
You kind of become like a known person, right? It's your local bar. You come in the
Exactly.
chat, everyone's like, "Hey, how did your vasectomy go last week?" You're like, "Amazing." And then
How's the
everyone's,
wife? How
talking
are the
about your vasectomy.
kids?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, go on.
It's true though. No,
I
no,
had
it's
to make
it's
a
true.
joke in there.
No, it's nice though. Because that was my goal was I didn't want it to always revolve around me. I wanted people to just enjoy each other too,
Same. Same.
or at least have that kind of community. So
I sometimes it's funny though, like it has happened where if I come in, sometimes when I come into my Discord or I'll talk, obviously they'll notice me and they'll pay attention to me. But sometimes the Momos are like, Matara, we're in the middle of something. Like, 1 second, Matara, we're busy. And at first I was like, what do you mean? But I love it. I love seeing them like doing their own stuff. And like the Momos are organizing a meetup. Even though I'm not going to be attending
ooh,
off guy, there's nothing. They're doing their own stuff. They're like little independent, and I love it. I
I
love
like
it so
that.
much. Hmm.
Yeah, someone might have done that at cons too, where they just like
Right?
they just do a little thing. Usually, one of my mods will kind of set up like a day and time at a convention, and they'll just be there.
That's really nice. I've often so I don't know if I'm. It's supposed to be a secret, but you know me and secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, real. I am very good for real information that is like you can't tell anybody. This is genuinely like I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like projects, I'm like, oh my god, can I show you? Um, so I kind of okay. I want to ask you how you feel about this since you say you have a mod organized stuff. Um,
Yeah.
that I wonder how involved and Momos and Geegoids, please jump into this conversation. How involved do I get? Because if I get let me speak my truth.
Hmm.
If I get too involved, then it's my meetup, right? That I organize. If I
Right.
cater too much or I do too much, then it's like, well, am I still responsible if anything happens? But for this current meetup that they're doing, they're also doing like a hotel room party with drinks. I'm actually
Ooh.
sending a big box of a lot of merch that I don't use anymore. Typically from my Hollywood days and other stuff. I
Right.
bought a lot of prints that I don't use. Even some merch, like I have some Vishojo shirts and Vishojo sweaters that I do not want in my home. Sorry.
Yeah. I
Now that I'm
mean,
a
who
Tarkon
wants to have like all
independent,
this
new me.
stock?
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, right? Like we
Yeah.
get a lot of stock sent, but also, and this one is a spoiler.
Ooh.
I so Rombly is organizing the meetup, and Rombly told me that when he went to Anime Expo, he had a hard time finding other momos, even though like there's a lot of momos.
Yeah.
So he went out of his way to organize a little meetup. And because I
Ooh.
feel so like awed by that, I am sending over a bunch of signed little prints.
Ooh, I
Like
like that.
it's not going to be for sale. It's a completely new print. It's not. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that because I
But then I'm kind of worried, right? Like, what if this becomes a norm? Sorry, please go on.
no, no, you do it when you want to. I mean, I think it's nice to get a little involved with things like that, but I never want to get
Yeah.
too involved like oh, call me and I'll be there or on an iPad,
Yeah.
whatever, because they already see each other in chat or in Discord and I'm always watching, right? There's always that
I'm
thought of like
always
she could be
watching.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes people
I
want to
could be at
have
the party.
conversations without like me looming, right? Even if
Not
it's
even in a bad way. They could just be like,
exactly.
yeah, I didn't really love when Matara played this. Somebody's like, it's fine. Like, I didn't really love when she played that. And like, they're not bitching, but if I was
Zero
there,
pressure. Yeah.
I'd be devastated. What do you mean you don't love all my streams all the time?
Uh, that's exactly what's good about a fan community is that I think they feel like they can be very real and not worry about like, oh
Yeah.
my god, am I gonna offend this person talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I do wonder, like, okay, if I like cater some pizzas to the party, right? Like, I also then don't want other people to feel like, because that's another thing that happens sometimes in communities. And I know for some of you it's gonna sound crazy, but Giga and I, we've seen it all.
Hmm.
Where I don't want other people to organize parties and be like, why did you cater pizzas for this party, but not our party?
Yep.
Why
Yep.
did you give, they met up at Hooters and you gave them, $200 to spend on the bill. Why didn't you give us $200 to spend at Hooters? Right.
Yep.
And then like I kind of become like a walking checkbook, or
It's
I
like
don't
people
know.
think that you're picking like your favorite child kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anybody wondering, yes, I overthink things like this all the time. I can simply never be happy.
I think what matters is how you react to that because people there will always be someone, no offense, who's being a shitter who starts saying
Mhm.
things like that. And what
Yeah.
matters is your reaction. So if you're like, I did it because I wanted to, and I don't have to do anything for you unless I
I
feel
did
like
it
it.
because I like them more than you, idiot, loser.
Yeah, like you
I
know,
did it because
cause I hate you, grr.
I hate you in particular.
You right there.
I did it because they've all been members for 2 years, and you are a
Mm,
filthy, like, I don't know, 2 month subscriber.
ooh,
Obviously, this is a joke.
shame, shame. Yeah, like people will always overthink stuff. If you also overthink stuff, everyone's gonna be stunlocked forever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're my Oshi. I overthink till my head spins. I'm very careful and um have you spoken about like VTubing communities too much before where I do feel like we do have sometimes fans that are a little bit more on the sensitive side. I don't know if it's like a youth thing or because a lot of VTubing kind of comes from corpo, so it's a little bit more, but there's definitely sometimes stuff where it's a little bit more on the sensitive side, and I've had to kind of be in the middle of a few issues where I'd be like, guys, just talk it out.
Yeah.
What do you mean you are? What do you mean you need me to get involved? I'm not getting
Mm-mm.
involved. So, uh, it
They
is
want you to
what it
come in and
is.
be the police sometimes.
Yeah, how involved do you get? And um,
I'm
also,
like,
since you know me really well,
mhm.
how do I not get too involved? Because I am basically like that like dance mom where I'm like, oh my god, you're doing an event, let me cater the pizza, let me send the posters, let me do the
Right.
stuff. And at some point they're like, Matara, let us have a freaking event like without you.
Yeah. I
Like,
personally
leave us alone.
I stay pretty uninvolved and I just
Uh-huh.
say like just give me updates. I want to see. I want to know what happens so I can enjoy it
Yeah.
too. But I try to not put my hands in it because I want them to like for my community in particular, they like to feel like they've done something. And if I
Mm.
have a tendency to go in and do everything for everyone.
Same.
I am one
Same.
of those.
You know this. Yep.
Yeah. So I hold myself back on that so that they can have something and be like, we did this instead of like, she did this for us. She did this for us. And just on
Yeah.
repeat forever, you know? Because I know
It,
myself.
it's weird because I am really loving this behavior of independent, free thinking momos that spin by themselves and are
Mhm.
organizing things, meeting up, doing stuff. But I also want to get involved. But I'm aware that if I get involved and I basically like solve the catering, get the merch, get the invites, get everything, then I'm also not teaching them to keep doing that and
And
do
it
that,
doesn't feel
right?
like theirs as much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like people to be able to feel like they have ownership of a thing they do, like, you know, especially like the mod team, right? Because a lot of what they
Yeah.
do is for free. So if I
Hmm.
run in and take control of everything, like, what is theirs? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like to let the community like do things where they can feel they did it. We did it.
I
Our
have
meetup.
sometimes, even if like sometimes people would come and chat, they did it more so at the beginning, not
Hmm.
so much anymore. Where they would be like, "Oh, I got banned from your Discord by your mods. I think I disagree with it." I was like, "Listen, no offense to you. I'm sure that whether you deserved it or not is not my call. I trust the people that I
Hmm.
have moderating. I trust that they have seen what you wrote, and at some points, like I cannot be micromanaging every one of their decision.
Yep.
So sorry,
It's not
like
sustainable.
no, it's you or them. So
Exactly. I agree. I
hmm,
agree. Yeah, I refuse to take personal part in like that kind of stuff. The only time is if I'm live, someone times someone out
yeah,
for it, and then I go, "Oh no, you don't have to do that. Like I'm okay
yeah,
with that." But that's not because I want to help that chatter only. It's
mm-mm.
because I want the mod to see in real time what I am and am not okay with, so their moderation can improve and be like more and more
And
aligned. You know?
I gotta be honest, I'm not perfect. Sometimes, like sometimes if I'm in a bad mood and I see something a little bit out of context, I'll be like, ugh, I will genuinely be like, why the heck would you write that? That's so bad. And then I ban them. And then my mom's like, no, Matara, they were answering another chatter. No, 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 no. Like they were not being mean to you. And I'm just there like, I'm so sorry. I'm about to get my period. I'm feeling a little cranky.
Yeah, that's the thing is the mods usually have a better idea of what's going on in the chat, like in a meta kind of
Yeah.
way. Like they've seen this guy talk about this thing 3 times, whereas I might not have
Yeah.
caught that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'm like, what did you call me? They're like, no, 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 no. We're giving examples of like mean names that our wives called us or something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry. And I'll go like immediately. I'm like, you're bad. You're bad for a week. Come back after you think about your behavior or something like that.
Yep.
And my moms are just sweating in the background, like, oh God. Oh God.
I do the
Who's
same
gonna tell
thing.
her? Uh sometimes. Like if somebody says something like, is that a spoiler? They're like, wait, no, I'm just talking to another guy about my lunch. Oh. Hmm. I was talking today that I wanted to go to Salt Lake City, Utah,
Oh, really?
and somebody wrote slut, but they wrote SL in capital space UT. So I was like, huh? And I was like, okay, okay. And then they actually wrote proper words after. And I was like, I'll be honest, I had my finger on the trigger. I thought you were like someone's 12-year-old kid at the PC.
Yep.
But they were actually having a regular conversation and saying that in Salt Lake City, because it's Salt Lake, Utah, they have
Utah.
t-shirts that they sell that say SL space
Yep.
UT in like capital letters. I'm like, I need this. I've never heard of this before.
That's funny. But that's the thing is like you'll get chatters that don't think, right? And I
Hmm.
don't blame
Hmm.
them, but they don't think. They're
It's
hearing you
funny.
talk about Salt Lake, they're hearing you talk about Utah, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a thing." But instead of giving you the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
context, they just type
Yeah.
slut in the chat.
Yeah, when I like
Like,
see like new first message, new chatter, SL
yep.
space UT, I'm like,
Yep.
what's the next thing you're gonna say, buddy? I'm not here to think, true, and you're not here to type because there's a typo in what you wrote.
Exactly.
They wrote here like hearing,
Mm.
so that's funny. I like that. Oh boy, yeah, and nothing against it. I am so bad about it. Sometimes if
Mm.
people spam caps, I can get if I'm in a bad mood, I can get annoyed. But I
Yeah.
only type in caps in my friend streams. I
It's so
only type in
true.
caps lock and I only
Yep.
type in short messages.
I
So
think
I
it is
am
totally
welcome.
fine to both be bothered by that and to do it yourself.
Yeah. not perfect. And then other times I've actually asked them to use caps lock because I can't see really well. So when they use the big letters, it gets
Um,
easier to read.
new glasses.
Yeah, I need my glasses.
Yeah.
I need my glasses. But to finalize on the convo of like getting involved,
Mhm.
like what's the most you get involved with like any community run stuff? If your mods are like, hey, we're doing a dinner or we're doing something,
I don't
what's the
touch
most
those
that
if
you?
it's IRL events. I don't touch it. I let them have that. If
Of
it's
course.
like Discord stuff, I haven't done it in a while. I've been trying to lay off, but like when we started our book club, I was like, "You're gonna read this book." Like I was like, "This is what the book club is starting with." Then I decided, and
Spoken
then
the
they did
word.
that trilogy,
Yeah.
and things like that. There
Wait,
have
you're
been a
just
couple times
forcing
where
them
like,
to read books and you're not involved?
well, I was
You're just
there
like,
for
all
some
right,
of it.
mods. Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Mods, you're
Yep,
reading this. Atomic Habits, James Clear. Your ego is the enemy. Mods, you're reading this. This is your
pretty
monthly
much.
mod reading.
You're reading this book.
You're reading this. That's
That's
funny.
exactly what I did. I was just like, you're gonna read this. Because I had already read them, so I popped in for some to see how people were liking it here and there, but I didn't go to
Yeah.
like every single meeting and
Yeah.
talk too much about it. But I did like type my thoughts sometimes while they were talking about the first book and
Mhm.
that kind of
What
stuff.
book was it if it's not a secret?
It was The Bear and the Nightingale, which actually you would probably find interesting. So it's like
Hmm.
kind of like young adult difficulty. I want to start with something easier
Ooh.
so we could get like non-readers to try the book
Yeah.
club. Um, and it's a fantasy story, but specifically set in Siberia, so it has a lot of old
Oh,
Russian and Slavic
let's
folklore.
go. You know,
Yeah.
my mother's grandmother is from Siberia.
Oh,
Like
okay.
genuinely, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting old stories and everything and tales, whatever, and that's kind of like the magic in the book and the, supernatural, whatever, comes from
Mhm.
those. So,
That's cool.
there's a
So
lot
there's
of,
like Slavic mythology a little bit. I guess it wouldn't be
yeah.
Slavic back then. It would be like, yeah. I don't know what the Siberian like true, sorry, the pagan stuff is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
they
everybody.
had some that were very specific to that, but they also had a lot that were just kind of general, like you'll see in a lot of Slavic culture. So it was
Mhm.
nice because most fantasy is just like very Arthurian, very Western
Yeah, yeah.
European, and
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a
My
good one.
God.
It's a good one, and it
Oh
examines
my
the
God.
time
Sorry,
of
I saw.
Christianity moving into Russia and having those who were pagan struggle with their religious identity.
Yeah,
It was good.
orthodoxy.
Hmm.
Hmm. I got a raid, and the raid message is my P organ is throbbing RN. Who do you
Oh,
think raided me?
my P, is it
Who do you?
spelled like capital P?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think it's someone who's really bricked up right now. I would have to
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Bricky Raider. So, fun fact. I'm sorry, Giga. I gotta do my car
Do
salesman
it. Do
pitch.
it.
So
Let me hear it.
today we have had such a generous audience, right? All I've been saying is that allegedly, apparently, if you gift 100 subs, you save 35 subs. So if you gift 5 subs, you only really pay for 3.5. It's crazy. And then allegedly,
Mm.
that 35% of the money you save, it actually comes back in your pocket. So for this day today only, I brought back timing people out for money. And strangely enough, Bricky's not timed out for money.
Wow.
This never happened. Giga, we were
I
talking
mean,
about this
that's why
earlier,
he's
right? I was
able
like,
to raid.
that's why he's
Mm-hmm.
Bricky has almost never gotten a raid in him and Limes during this time. This is
Hmm.
crazy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for rating me. I hope you had a good stream. For everybody tuning in, hi, I'm Matara Khan, and today of Independent, and today I'm joined by Giga, 20 Giga,
That's right.
and we're honestly yapping. We talked about we talked about high value men earlier. I can't
Ricky,
believe
would you
you just
consider yourself a high
randomly.
value man?
Yeah. Give yourself a high value. We're teasing, but she did really bring up those words, which like shocked me. We're talking about streaming. We're talking about being involved in your communities. We're honestly just having a little bit of a hag yap. I will say this for real though. Twitch is doing a sale of if you give 5 subs or more, you save 35%. May I encourage you all to go over to Not Giga
That's me.
and give her some of that love.
I will
As for
gladly
me,
take all of your
yeah.
subs.
I did say I'm going to be saving this for my story time tomorrow, but I did go to the States this morning On $450 spent, I had to pay $200 in tariffs. So
Ooh.
I have reclaimed my tariff money. Thank you, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was crazy. But like I said, thank you, Bricky, so much for the raid. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How is Lies of P? I know you're also really into Lies of P, and
Liza
so is Bricky.
P. Liza Pinelli. I love Liza P so much. It is my favorite Souls like. I will die with that game in my hands. It's so good.
Is it a parry heavy game? Because I'm not good at timing my parries.
Somewhat. Depends on your build. But
It's unironically
yeah.
one of the best gameplays in Souls ever made. Bricky also loves what is the Outer Wilds, like you do. Yeah, you guys have very good game opinions. I hate to
Yes.
give him a compliment, but you guys have very good game opinions.
It's true. It's real and true.
Before the big raid though, hi everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Like I said, we're just kind of yapping and
Yeah.
doing the cozy thing. If you want to build something with us, if you want to play a game with us, if you want to yap in our streams, feel free. We're kind of talking about streamer adjacent things, but Giga was talking about a book club that she does. And what was the book that you brought up in the book club, if you don't mind?
The Bear
saying?
and the Nightingale.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were just mentioning how, and I agree with you, it is very rare to get books that talk about like Slavic culture or anything like that, unless they are
Yeah.
specifically Russian, which
And
actually,
especially
during-
not the folklore. Like it's
No.
and
No,
it's
no,
like specifically Siberian. It was very
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah. That's also another thing where that's why when Atomic Heart's second trailer, usually, you know, when there's a trailer for a game,
I saw it and I went, oh, space Soviet aesthetic, yes! And people in chat were like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah! I was so
instantly
excited.
knew.
Oh,
Usually in the stream, people guess games way before me, but that one, the second I saw, like the little robot in the chair, she had on a headdress, and it's kind of it's Sneakurika. It's like
Yeah.
Santa Claus's daughter. Well, it's not. It's like Father Winter's granddaughter. I instantly I was like, oh, it's Atomic Hearts, and everybody was like,
Yeah.
wait, you've never gotten the game first before. I'm like, I could it instantly.
I didn't think it
I
was going to be
recognized it.
Atomic Heart because of the space setting. And I
Yeah.
was so used to it not being that. So I was like, what is this? And then there were like a couple things and I was like, oh, okay. It's
The
time.
moment I saw her in the chair at the space station, she had like the head, because previously
Yeah.
little robots they had the big braids. The moment she had the headdress, I was like, guys, it's Atomic Hearts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Hi Octo, it is the Shrek DLC. Giga picked it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go Shrekin. I haven't done this one yet.
Oh, Giga, as a big Lies of P gamer, I'm currently trying to unlock the DLC in Lies of P, but I'm struggling. Any advice for that young chatter?
I don't know yet because I haven't unlocked it myself. I'm going to start it soon.
Ooh.
I can't help.
Ask Ricky to see if he's still here, or ask the other.
Yeah, I'm sure
older
people in
chatters.
chat
I don't
know.
know.
A lot of
Probably
people have been
young
playing
chatter,
it.
but yeah. So you kind of like presided over the book club, but you don't really get it. Okay, this is the thing that I want to ask you. Zero is a great moderator, and I'm not being paid to say
However.
this. But, however, some momos were like, "Hey, Matawa, we want to have a Minecraft server." And I'm like, no. Because I know that somebody is going to steal somebody else's sweet roll, and then we're going to get mod tickets of like, that person took my diamond. And
Oh my
Zero
God,
claims
yeah.
Zero has too much work to do. And I keep giving him more work. And Zero claims that he will have time to play Minecraft and moderate. And I'm like, no.
No.
You think you will, like, you do not understand the amount of micromanaging you will have to do on this Minecraft server, Zero. Do you think I'm being like a little too, or just
Well,
glazing
you don't
up and telling
have
them,
to
right?
do a lot of moderation on the Minecraft server if you just say, you know what? It's the Wild West. And I'm just not gonna. I'm just gonna say if your stuff gets stolen, just freaking cry about it. You can set up like mods that you can claim a chunk and people can't do anything in your chunk. You can do stuff like that, but you could also just be like, "Hey, PvP server enabled, go."
Giga, I'm starting to suspect they already have a Minecraft server.
Oh, I love server-based
Momos
stuff because like I did
illegal.
I did a V
Go on.
Rising server today because they had a new update, so I was playing that earlier and like just getting them back into it. But it's nice to just like do server-based things, and that game actually does have like quite a bit of PvP, so I kind of like that stuff. Which, by the way, if you want to let any of your subs like have access to my server, you can do that because
Yeah, which game? Sorry.
V Rising, the vampire one, it has that like top-down
Ooh,
Diablo combat.
ooh. Any momos want to go with the Geegoids and play some V Rising? Talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying if you stream 8 hours, I have 16 hours free. What? Go read some stories for Trash Like Confidential. Go
Mm,
work.
that's right.
Go do some work. No, I'm kidding. Um, Momos, it is illegal to unionize and to start offline. Okay, that is Giga. My
Yeah.
my mods keep asking me for more work, and
Oh.
I feel like they keep asking for more work, and I keep giving it to them. But then I'm scared that one day they're just gonna burn out.
Yeah, let's
So
be
I'm
real for a
scared.
second. Okay, you
Yeah,
think you want more work because you perceive that there's more that you could do. When
yeah,
you have that work, you're going to feel really good about doing it at first because you're going to be like, wow,
yeah.
I can do this work. And then it becomes regular work and then you're going to hate it and you're going to burn out. So you should always be in a position where you feel like you don't have enough work. That is perfect
I
for a moderator.
agree.
Hmm.
That, okay. Not only for moderator, so right now my team is growing a bit because we have two like main now we have two YouTube channels. So we
Hmm.
have like another every time everyone's like, I'm not working enough. I'm like, good. I kind of want you a little bit hungry every time. I
Yeah.
want everybody to be a little bit like, hey, Matara, I can't wait to work because then this is my trick. Then you like working for me.
Yes.
And you're like, man, working for Matara is the best. And this is how I keep people on my team forever. First of all,
It's
yes, I
true
pay
because
them
you
good
want them
money,
to
but
feel good at
yeah,
the end of the day. You don't want them to be like, wow, love
yeah,
this job, but man, does it stress me out. Is it worth it? Question mark,
yeah, man is the boss of, I almost said the C word, is a corrupt woman, you know? I actually always want my teams to be a little bit underworked because then I feel like it just, why would they ever leave me? You know, not to be parasocial and carnivorous, but
I can keep
why
them
would they ever leave me?
forever.
Um,
That's true.
why would they
Like,
ever
you want
leave?
them to be comfortable. You want them to feel like they have a
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Hmm.
My editor's like
Even
that too. I have my main editor, and he kind of manages
yeah,
the others. And he was looking for stuff to do, and I was like, why don't you
relax.
come
I'll
up
read a
with
book, touch
something that
grass.
you want to do for yourself? Yeah. And you
Yeah,
know what he did was I had that sock puppet model debut with Haruka, and
yeah.
I didn't really have like teasers for it. I was just going to post
Oh,
about
he
it with
did
some
those
images.
teasers.
Yeah, he just decided to do that on his own. He just did it.
Amazing,
Like, I didn't have to
amazing.
lift a finger. I
Yeah.
didn't have to give him a single thought out of my brain on it. He just said, you know what? I'm going to
That
just do
trailer
this.
is insane.
It was so good.
It's so good.
He contacted people for the art. Because I just give him budget, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah, yeah.
projects that need doing, like,
Yeah,
here's what you got. So he
yeah,
just dipped into that and was like, I'm getting an artist. I'm getting someone for music. It was one of my other mods, Oshi. And he was like, I'm
hmm
just going to put this together and
yeah.
I'm going to make this happen. and then, I just
Agree with
had
that.
a full teaser to post instead of like a Twitter post. So
I
that's what
it
happens
was
when people are not
that
overworked.
is I agree. That is one thing where like if I'm overworking people, then I always have to come up with the ideas and I always but if I don't
Yeah.
overwork people, they come to me, they're like, hey, I have these great ideas for the
Hmm.
channel. And I'm like, yeah, I
And
like your
and
great
being your
ideas.
own idea guy burns you out.
Hmm.
That is a quick way to get burnt out as
Yeah.
a creator. It's a lot over time. So it's good to have people thinking about that.
I like hiring the best person for the job for each job. And
Hmm.
typically, theoretically, in theory, my best position is to be streaming, right? That is
Yeah.
what and not just that, but so I feel like you're very good at if bad things happen. Like sometimes you've had like pretty deep talks
Hmm.
and then you're like duck, like the kind of like a duck, like it's water off of your feathers.
Hmm.
Me, sometimes if I like have a business meeting right before stream, I'm not in my like I don't even want to call it feminine energy. I don't know what to say,
You're
but like
not locked in.
somebody no, somebody will ask me a question. I'm like, actually from a business point of view, that doesn't make sense. Like I'll literally talk to the mobos like this. I'm like, actually from a business
Yeah.
point of view, that doesn't make any sense for me to do this. And then I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm
I
not
think
here to
it's okay
work.
to say that stuff though,
I'm here to
because you're
study.
letting them know I'm not saying no to this because I hate you. I'm saying it because of this logical
But
reason.
it's not the tone usually, because usually
Mm.
I'm like, hey, that sounds like a great idea, but I just don't see it working out on the channel, you know? I
That's
still
fair.
say
I
that,
talk to my
like,
community that
not as
way.
like
I'm
business.
like, this makes
You
no
do.
sense, and here's why. But I
You
think they're
do.
just used to me being like that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's very different if
You
like you do it out of nowhere because they're
out of
not used to
nowhere,
that
yeah,
from you.
people are gonna think I'm mad at them, yeah.
Right.
But I just feel like my best, obviously, as a streamer, you know, we gotta wear many, many hats.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is why when like VTubers become, once a VTuber becomes popular, like it's hard to lose that popularity because you basically know how to like edit your content, market your content, make your
Mm-hmm.
merch, do your stuff, play your games, organize your things,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
Just
but I
get into
feel
a
like
flow state.
I need to be doing my best job. Like, and my best job is to be streaming.
Yeah.
Other things, I need everybody else to be doing those.
That's the whole point. I mean, I don't know a single streamer who's ultra successful that does it all on their own. And if they do, then they do like one thing. Like they don't have
Yeah.
like a multiple channels, like a large brand. They just do like one thing
Mhm.
really well. And that's
Yeah.
sometimes that one thing pops off, but for most people when they have like a lot of stuff to manage, they need to still
Well,
just focus on their one thing. You know, so you need other
I
people.
think I might be lying for fun, but I
Mm,
think I heard that Russian Badger edits his videos himself still.
he does.
Okay, okay. So I'm not lying for fun. I'm saying the truth.
No, he does that.
Which again, at his level, he doesn't have to. He can easily hire somebody. He has years of content.
No, he just
But
does it
he
because he
also
wants to.
releases a video, not you know, it's not 4 videos a
Yeah,
week like I
the
have.
capacity is a lot lower, like time
Yeah.
wise. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? It's like you could whole ass one thing, but you have to give something else up,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So if it's like I'm gonna edit my own videos too, and I'm gonna wear a billion hats, well then you can't put out that many videos, right?
He does the
Always
whole
a
video
thing.
himself. Well,
Hmm.
when you say the whole video, like recording the games, yeah, but then what else is like the whole video? I'll be honest, I
Oh,
did not.
Russian Badger, he has like mocap suits and stuff that he uses, and then he puts them into
Ooh.
Source Filmmaker, and then does
Oh,
camera work and lighting with that, and then he gets his people. He writes scripts for people to say, and he body acts and character acts it when he gets their audio. Like he full produces everything,
okay. I'd like
everything.
to think that I work hard, but hearing stuff like
He's
that, I'm
another
like,
level.
I could work harder. Maybe
Yeah,
I could do a little bit more work. Maybe
but
I
at
could
the
clock
same
in a few
time,
more times.
he's still like you said, he's not putting out that many videos that often.
Yeah.
Like he takes his time doing that, you know.
Yeah,
But it is a lot to learn, like skill wise.
of
He definitely
course.
just he does it all.
But it's also, he's at a point, right, where, and this is a really nice point to be at as a creator, where he knows that he can take a month, he can take 2 months, he could probably
Hmm.
take 4 months for a video, as long as they stay consistent with, you know, the branding and what he does and stuff like that. People like that stuff. People
Yeah,
will watch. They like it. The people like what he has to give, to serve, to
exactly.
cook.
Another example that is Fred, who does Down the Rabbit Hole. He's also a VTuber. He streams here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he puts out. Sometimes he takes a year to do a video, but then he gets millions of views
Ooh.
on the video, and he does it all himself.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like a 5-6 hour long documentary, you know, and he wants to do it. He wants to do it himself, so it takes him that long, you know. So it's a
Um,
good example.
something. So, I wanna talk about this where
Mhm.
hiring people is usually a good idea,
Hmm.
but it really, really depends on like what you're looking for, what you want. Most of the time, like in most areas of my business, I will do that thing better because
Yes,
typically because I care the most, right? Like I care the most. Like I will
you have
reply
the
to
most
phone
to
stuff
lose
at
from it
3
not being
a.m.
good,
Yeah,
or yeah.
but and it's not for everything because for example my project manager, oh my god, they are so eloquent. They reply to people like me. Sometimes I have to remember that if it's 3 a.m. and I'm like, I don't like this, like I'll literally reply if somebody will give me an art, I'm like, I don't like this and I don't know why, and then I go to bed and the artist is probably like crying and sweating right while I'm
Frustrated,
just
pulling
like,
her hair out.
but I
Oh
didn't
my
mean it
god.
badly. I'm just like, I don't like this, and I mean it. I was like, I don't like this, and I don't know why. Let me sleep on it, and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Hmm.
But instead, the artist sees it as like, I hate you. I hate your art. I wish you were never
They
born. You know?
internalize that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So having like more of my team be talking to people has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll just forget to answer sometimes too. Oh God,
Oh,
poor
I
artist.
know. Well, we have like
But
two or three
yeah,
spots where all of our messages filter through, and get so many messages, so many
all
emails,
the
so many
time.
DMs. Yeah, it's just hard to not have something fall off.
Even sometimes during the day, like I'll message Giga, let's say we're planning a collab, and then we'll start yapping. And sometimes I've said this to Giga or others, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm actually doing work. Because like
Mm-hmm.
you'll go through your list of like, okay, I gotta message this person for a collab, gotta check up on this. And then the person's like, hey, and I'm guilty of this too. How you doing, by the way? What's going on?
Yeah.
What you eating for lunch? And then amazing, you get into a 1 hour conversation. But other times you're like, no, I'm actually working on stuff. Leave me alone, Satan.
That's why I send you so many voice notes, because then you can just listen to it later.
Oh, I love it. I got Amelie on voice notes too.
Yes,
And
I
Michi.
sent
I'm
her. Oh,
getting
Michi too.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sent her one too?
I'm gonna.
Good. I'm gonna. That's a threat, not a
I'm
promise.
gonna. I will.
I'm gonna. Amelie, you better watch out. Giga's sending you voice.
Mhm.
Okay, one thing about Giga's voice note. So you and I are like, we're so different. My voice notes are 30-second intervals or like 1 minute intervals where I'm like, la 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 la, achoo, ah, la la, what was I talking
Yep.
about? La la la. Giga, it's a 7 or 9 or 11-minute voice note,
Mhm.
but it's so quiet, Giga.
I know.
have to stop
And
everything I'm doing.
I've got the
and
mic
put
in my
on
mouth when I do that. The phone is like in my
It is
face.
the quietest voice note ever, and it's just one long voice note, and she stays concise the whole time. But I'm telling you, when you send me voice notes, I literally will be like, all right, let me go get a drink, let me go get a snack.
It's
And I
time for the
just sit there.
podcast.
You know the meme of like the little rat eating like I think it's from no, it might be from Wallace and Gromit or Ratatouille, where it's like a little rat eating a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
That's me listening to your voice note
Oh my god.
at my desk.
I love it so much. I just monologue for 10 minutes.
It's amazing. It makes me so happy.
I've got a sick power fantasy where I imagine her having to sit there for 10 minutes listening to my voice.
Yeah, I love it. I think I've even told the Momos before where I'm like, ooh, Momos, I just got a nice like 8-minute voice note from Giga. I'm sorry, can't wait for to end the stream. Like it gives me something to look forward to. I'm like, yippee!
Yeah. I'll be listening to this later. That's what I like about voice notes though, because I love talking, obviously. But
Obviously.
I can't shake people down and make them talk to me, and I don't want to be shaken down and locked down into a call all the time either. Like I want to
Independent,
drop my
sexy
thought.
ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So voice notes are they're the best, man.
I love
They're
'em.
perfect.
Whenever I have to actually write out long things or tell a story, I also feel like giving nuance with the voice makes such a difference. Right? Because if I'm
Yes.
like, oh, this happened and this person, like if I'm like, this person deeply upset me, right? If I'm like,
Right.
oh, I was really upset and do 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 beep 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 beep. It's like, yeah, just feel like the vocalizing makes it more human.
I agree. And I like when someone asks a question and I know I have an answer that's going to be a bit of an explanation. I don't want to type all that out. I just don't want to.
No. Even better, sometimes I'm not on my computer. I don't want to like stop out on my phone. I'll have the voice, like if I'm making a coffee or I'm doing something, I'm like, oh yeah, let me just voice note with one hand and like keep talking, keep doing
Exactly.
my stuff. Yeah.
I do when I'm like folding laundry, I'm cooking,
Yep.
I'm like doing stuff like that, and
Yep.
that's when I send voice notes.
The amount of times I have been cooking in the morning or making my coffee and sending you voice notes is too darn much.
Oh my god, yeah. It's
the
always when
best.
you're on a walk and you're like, I'm getting my
All the
coffee.
time. All my steps. So okay, my assistant Teak, sometimes I'd be like, I'm waking up, I'm going on my hot girl walk, and I'm sending you voice notes. And Teak has DM'd me a few times that they'll be like, you forgot, sad face.
Oh
We're
my
like,
god.
where's my voice notes? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like other stuff came up.
I need my voice note. I love it.
It's
I've been trying to get all my friends on voice notes because it also feels more
the best.
personal. Like I like DMing to check in, but I love sending someone a 1 minute be like, so today I blah 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 and like that's the check in with the friend instead. It
I
just
think
feels
I
more
got
personal.
Bricky. I know he's not lurking. Bricky is like he raids and then goes to work, which
Yeah.
we should be doing more of. I don't do that enough.
Oh, I
I
stick
think I got Ricky
around.
into using voice notes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he like became a changed man with voice notes. I'm not sure. I don't
Yes.
know how much he was using them, but I use voice notes all the time.
Yeah.
It's the best. Especially, oh my god, because I do a lot of my work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when I don't stream. So if you catch me on a Tuesday, I have not yapped. So I'm like
Mm,
the whole time. Just
yeah.
my word count.
I
Do
get
you see
that.
yourself kind of like in tandem with this?
Hmm.
Do you see yourself streaming forever?
I don't know.
Obviously not at the same level, not at the same, but you know,
I feel like
go on.
streaming in general, probably because I just like talking in
Yeah,
real time. But if
about
like
the stuff that you like. Like it's gonna be hard being
exactly.
80 and being like, "Hey guys, I love playing blueprints. Here's what I
Yep.
love about
Yep.
blueprints." Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like I'm also totally open to pivoting if
Hmm.
something else arises. But it's very like I don't know. I like doing other kinds of content
Yeah.
too, but I find that streaming is a lot less lonely than some of that other stuff. A lot of my
Yeah.
YouTuber friends are so fucking lonely
Agreed. Agreed.
all the time. And you know, I have a big family. I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very social person. So for me, I think streaming is good for me.
Yeah. I agree.
So even if I pivot to something else, is like that's the job now. I'll probably still stream just to stream,
Yeah.
just because I like it.
Yeah. Maybe everyone. Yeah. I get it. I agree with you. I think streaming is happiness wise, bang for your buck wise. It is the biggest like
Hmm.
uh it is the biggest happiness one because YouTube, obviously, you're happy when you make a good video. You're happy to be working on your video, but it's kind of like being an author, right? Like you write the script by yourself, you do everything by
Hmm.
yourself.
You don't know if people
Um,
like it until you finish the whole damn
yeah.
thing and you put it out there. Whereas
Mhm.
like stream, I love that I can stream, and if people are having a lot of fun that day, I'm like,
It's
let's
instant.
turn this into a video then because they really liked
Yeah.
it. Like, you know, I like getting that live feedback.
I really genuinely feel like I just got addicted to this feeling of streaming where it just feels like I've said this before, but it's like going for a coffee with the girls.
Hmm.
It truly feels like that where I'm like, oh my God, how have you been? And again, I think as we get older and like it's gonna be genuinely like I don't see a lot of people caring about my niche weird hobbies when I'm 80. So I
Yeah.
do think to a certain extent I will always have some kind of outlet to yap, some kind of outlet to talk about the things I'm really passionate about, especially because now, like, it's an addiction, right? Like, I'm addicted.
Hmm.
Like, I have been positively reinforced pretty much all my life to talk about my likes and interests and the things that make me happy.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to one day be like, oh, stop talking about it, stop doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Even if obviously I don't think I can forever kind of like chase, the Twitter post, the schedule. Okay,
Hmm.
what games? Like this game is gonna not be very popular on my channel. But yeah,
It can get exhausting.
yeah. I just don't see unless there was another way where I could get my yapping in, like daily long yapping and my laughing in. That's the main thing is like
Mm.
I feel like on a day-to-day basis, obviously we have some hilarious friends. You are hilarious. I'm hilarious.
Thanks.
But sometimes when you talk to people that you don't normally talk to, they'll say just crazy stuff. Like the
Hmm.
SLUT thing, right? Like
Right.
I'm never gonna have a random friend be like, oh, SLUT. Like it's just it leads to such comedy moments, I think.
Yeah, I think I like what it is for me with streaming is that it's a mixed bag. You get a lot of random people that have not been here before every day coming in.
Yeah.
You get a lot of the
Hmm.
regulars as well. And what happens is you get a lot of unique thoughts being said, unique
Yeah.
sentences, and people update you on the world. They're like, oh, I've been seeing this thing on the internet or whatever. And it makes me feel like I'm actually in touch with humanity a little bit because I know
Oh,
myself. If I weren't streaming, I'd be locked in a room. I would be talking to the same 20 friends all the
yeah,
time. And I would not know what's going on in the world
true.
except for like really important shit because
Yeah.
I don't do that,
Yep.
you know, outside of VTubing.
I'm a little bit more negative than you. Than when you said people come in with their independent thoughts. Every other day, somebody has an independent thought of, "Hey, Matara, this is gonna sound crazy, but did you hear that you sound like Faramosa? Has anybody else ever
Oh
told
my
you that you look like Faramosa? Like,
god.
this is
Okay.
you're the only
For
person
every
that's
unique thought that
ever
is
told
in
me."
chat, there are 5,000 completely
Mhm.
not unique ones because I tell chat all the time at the same time. I say, hey, nothing you've ever done or said
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
special,
yeah,
by the way. Any
yeah.
thought you've had, there are billions of people on the planet.
Mhm.
Okay, every thought you've had, plenty of people have had that thought too.
I love when Giga tells me I'm not special.
Hmm. But hey, if it's new to me, it's new to me, you know? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah,
matters.
yeah. Another funny thing, like me being negative when you said I get to find out world events. I just think about every single time a celebrity dies, and then the
Oh,
whole day,
and you get Paul revered. Someone just runs in and they're like, did you know that this
yeah,
person
you
died?
hear
And I'm like,
this
oh.
person just died, and then 5 minutes later, hey, I'm so sorry, guys. Did you hear, guys? I'm devastated. And like the whole day, it's like trickling in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the whole day it just trickles in slowly, and you're like, God damn.
I've taken to just banning certain names from my chat. When someone dies, even if I love them, I just ban their name in the chat for the day for like 2-3 days.
But it definitely like becomes a topic of conversation. Yeah, that's why it's
Yep.
funny. I had like the skit in my head when you were saying unique things. I had like the thing
Yeah.
written out. I'm like, oh god.
No, it's so true though.
But I agree with you. I feel like when I was younger and I wasn't quite sure what I was into,
Mm.
I was like a little bit more adventurous with my likes and dislikes. But
Hmm.
now I know what music I like. I know what games I like. I know what things I like. So many games that I've discovered, so much music, so many books from chatters telling me about them.
Yeah. Yeah, me
Because
too.
I would not have otherwise really found that music or found those games, right? So
Me as well.
I,
I find at
yeah,
the same time too, it's nice because if you have a really niche, weird interest, or like you know a little fact, there's usually someone who also has read about that thing or is interested in that thing or something. So I could bring up something completely random and there might be literally one person who's like, oh, I remember that guy, he said whatever, but it's like really nice to have anyone
mm,
acknowledge these things, you know?
yeah, agreed.
So I like that.
Heck yeah, Mal. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. I love also having like streams up in the house just to kind of feel like somebody's yapping at me or
Mm,
with me. I love that. I get you.
me too. I think a lot of the older generation always did that. Like they would turn on the news and
Yeah.
just leave the news on. I think
Yep.
streaming is a better version of that because the news is always like tragedy after tragedy
Mhm.
after shocking
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
So and that's you know, while I think you should be in tune with the world and know what's going on, at the same time you need to take breaks
Yep.
and you
I
should
agree.
just listen
I
to
agree.
someone talk about something you like sometimes. So it's very nice to
And
have streams for that.
I feel like the TV was always on. Always,
Hmm.
always on in the house. Always volume, TV on. Who else is like from that kind of household where the
Oh yeah.
TV was just never off? Never, ever,
It's
ever
either
off.
that or radio. My mom and dad both really,
Radio.
really, really like a lot of like radio talk shows and things,
Hmm. Hmm.
like morning shows. So I have listened to so many of those for hours and hours and hours.
Dear Giga,
Hmm.
I need to pee. I've been drinking a lot of
Okay.
liquids
Okay.
and I need to take a moment. Would you please do me the honor and talk to the Momos with
Yes,
kindness?
indeed. All right, Momo. So I'm
You don't
gonna
have to talk
keep
to them
looking at
with
my
kindness.
chat too, but I'm gonna look at you guys now.
Mm-hmm.
It's your
Mm-hmm.
time. Ask me anything. AMA. Go.
Give me one
Go.
second.
Yeah, go piss, girl. Do you like Montreal? I've been once very briefly.
You know what's so funny? They wrote that question in my stream. Like at the beginning of the stream, I was asking them if they had funny questions to ask you, and they wrote that. And I was like,
You know, I want to go to Montreal. I've been once and it was like passing through. Like I was there for a
Mhm,
night, didn't get to do shit. So I do
mhm.
want to go back. Yes.
All right, I'll let her answer questions. Sorry, that cracked me up. She's so funny.
Can you get Mata to wash her hands? Ooh. What's your take on the Switch 2? What do you mean, what's my take? It's a console. Do you want my take on the price? Do you want my take on, like, if I think it's good or not? It's too vague. You gotta get specific. Best restaurant in NYC. If I told you, I'd have to kill you because it's like a place I go all the time. But there are other ones that are really good. And I would say there's too many. Just go eat whatever you want. Every block has a really good restaurant. Okay. I'm gonna be really, really cliche here. And I'm gonna say per se, which is a fine dining Michelin restaurant, but it's really good. It's really good. So if you like fancy stuff and you're like, I just want to eat one Michelin, just go there. I like per se a lot. It's by Thomas Keller. Lovely chef. Would you love Matara if she was a worm? Yeah. To me, VTubers are basically no different from worms. Like, their physical representation doesn't mean anything to me. And I mean that, like, with love, like, in a good way. I know that sounds so cynical, but I mean that positively. Like, my idea of them is disembodied from whatever I see anyway. So it would make no difference. She could literally be a worm and nothing would change in my mind. Does that make sense? What's your favorite dinosaur? Stegosaurus. If you could make an anime based off of your VTuber, what type of anime would it be, and who do you want voicing you? I definitely don't want myself voicing me because I hate, like, the way I sound when I voice stuff. But I also don't. But it wouldn't be good enough, in my opinion, for, like, that level of thing. I don't know who. God, what type of anime would it be? I would want it to be a movie, not a show, and be one of those animated movies that's like super high quality production because it's all the budget's packed into 2 hours. That's what I would want.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
GEEGA
are they talking
opinions
about
on
musicals?
Australia. Oh no, I'm just rapid firing the questions. Opinions on Australia. Australia's okay. I think it's trying to kill me, which is why I don't go near it. Tasmania sounds like a terrible place. It's not only is it Australia, but it's wetter and more tropical. Well, not tropical, sorry. It's more rainforesty, but it's colder, and it's just all mud. It's just all mud. It just sounds awful.
I am dumb. I thought Tasmania was in Africa.
Oh, you're thinking of Tanzania. No, Tasmania is
Maybe.
mostly like an island off of Australia, and it's off of the southeastern coast, I believe. And it's, you know, getting kind of cold over there. A lot
Australia
of
gave me COVID
humidity.
for the first time when I got COVID, so
Really?
that's how I feel. But I
I want to go
loved
because
it.
I have a
Oh,
lot of Australian friends, and I love making fun of their accents. I love saying things like, not just the accent, like using vocab words that we don't have in like American English.
like a shrimp on the barbie.
Oh,
Shrimp on the
I
Barbie.
love asking my Australian friends if they've ever seen that or heard that, and they're like, "No, what says that?" And I'm like, "Are you
No
sure?
one.
Are you sure though?" It's my favorite.
Mackers. Macas. They do
Macas.
say that.
Yep.
They do say that. Yeah, some folks earlier were asking me if you had any recommendations for musicals.
That depends on what people like. I think if you like satire, you like humor, and you like something that sounds very like big band, jazz, New York. The Producers is my favorite one for that.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's really good. It was originally it's written by Mel Gibson, so it's that kind of humor.
Oh,
Which is really good.
okay.
It's originally a movie. It had Gene Wilder in it. Actually, as like the one of the main guys.
You're getting so New York with this Mel Gibson, Gene Wilder.
I know,
Okay.
I know. It's that's why I love it so much. It's really good. And it's a full satire. And the premise, I won't spoil too much. The premise is that the main guy is a Broadway producer, and he's a piece of shit. And he hires this accountant to do his books, and he's not doing so well money wise. He's doing okay. The accountant says something where he's like, He's like, that's so funny. Like, I'm looking at your numbers here. So you could actually make more money with like a flop than a hit. And he was like, what?
Oh.
What do you mean? They come up with a scheme. He like cons this guy. He's like, don't you want to be a producer? You always wanted to be a producer,
Oh.
don't you? So he cons the accountant into like joining him to help him produce something, but they have to produce something that will definitely not do well. Like it needs to not do well so they don't accidentally lose money.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, so they do a whole musical, and they look through a bunch of scripts and everything, a bunch of screenplays, and they find like something that is just so offensive that it's like 100% going at people walking out and wanting refunds. And then I won't spoil what happens, but you know, it's really funny. it's really
Some
funny
folks
how
are
it goes
saying
down.
it's Mel Brooks.
Oh, sorry, my brain. Yeah, no, it's Mel
Yeah.
Brooks.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was surprised. I'm like, I didn't know Mel Gibson wrote things, but
Oh,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
who Mel Brooks is.
No, I'm just cooked because I've been streaming for 7 hours.
Yeah, no
No, Mel
worries.
Brooks. But it's
You're so
really,
funny.
really good.
You told me, yeah, I'm off on Saturdays, and then like this bitch every time she's always like, I'm off. I just did a 13-hour stream on Not Geeka, but yeah, I don't
Oh
work
yeah.
Saturdays.
Oh yeah. All in a day's rest.
I don't know how. I am so like, I've talked about it before. I am so envious that you only need a few hours of sleep.
That is why I'm able to do
debilitating
this.
for
That
me.
is, it is purely because I cannot possibly sleep for more than 6 hours. I'm like a 4 or 5 hour sleeper.
I am devastated. Okay, so the producers. What else?
Okay, so there's that one. Um, if you, man, that's tough. I would say Into the Woods is like a classic one. Into the Woods is very, it takes like old fairy tales and things and takes a lot of characters from them and puts several of those stories kind of together, some of those characters together. I would watch the original cast of it on YouTube, the one with Bernadette Peters playing the witch. It's really good. It's a Sondheim musical, and he's like one of the most prolific musical writers ever. So he just has very
Okay.
nice music that focuses on the lyrics and not just like it being good music.
Yeah, I need
yeah.
the lyrics to like. I'm there for the
Like they
lyrics
need
to
to
tell
hit.
me the story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he is for. Like other musical writers would be like, his music's so basic, and I'd be like, it's not that bad, but I care about the lyrics because it's a musical with people singing. So,
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that one. It's they did a movie version of it, but I actually don't recommend it. I think the music
like
sounded all right, but they didn't get the story right. Like they delivered it in a way that didn't get the themes. It's supposed to be like really morbid, but it's supposed to be kind of funny as well. It's both morbid and funny in equal doses, and they made it too like just dark.
I get it. There's not
Yeah.
really the comedy. It doesn't feel like dark comedy.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It wasn't hitting the same, and I was like, this is supposed to be something that starts out really funny, has a lot of funny moments, but then has like some gut wrenching moments right next to those, and I feel like they just kind of like kept it dark the whole time, and I was like, it's okay. But
Oh man.
the OG version's really good.
You know, I'm just somebody wrote while Epic is very good. You've seen Epic,
Oh,
right?
Epic Music. Oh yeah.
It does make me wonder how big, because obviously, like when you're in a bubble, like sometimes. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent.
No, you're
It's like when people say like Roblox is dead. It's like no, just because you're like
Oh,
40
it left
and
your
nobody,
orbit.
yeah,
It's still orbiting.
nobody in your
Yeah.
world plays Roblox doesn't mean it's not one of the most played games, right? At the
Yeah.
moment, still. So even though I feel like Epic was everywhere in VTuber and some streaming circles, it's nowhere near hit like mainstream or anything. But
No.
it does make me wonder if like that could eventually become an adaptation somewhere.
It could. It
Because
could.
it's so good.
A lot of things can. It just matters like who decides to pick it up. A producer has to be like, I want to put this on stage, and they
Yeah.
have to choose to put it on stage over like one of the classics that they know people that are tourists
That they know
will
people
always
will
come out to
buy.
see.
Yeah.
So of course they've got like
I
Lion
wonder-
King the musical on Broadway. You know.
I do wonder then if like for Epic, if that's going to be a little bit of a debuff that it's 3 hours non like first of all,
Yeah, that's
it being
tough.
longer, but also it's non-stop singing. Like some musicals, you have a little bit more of a vocal rest, or you have a bigger cast. Here, your main cast is just belting songs for 3 hours. Like
It's hard
it's a
to do
lot of
something like that
one guy
live.
belting. Yeah.
Yeah, there are musicals that have nonstop singing because there's like no spoken word in them, but a lot of those, the way it's pieced out and everything, it's
Like
not as
Rent,
bad. Like
where
Rent.
everybody kind of has their pieces. I love Rent.
Yeah, well
Okay, I'm
they end up
sorry.
like separating it out between a lot of characters, so one
Yeah,
actor isn't
yeah.
dying. Yeah.
But the problem with Epic is like it's very one character focused. It feels like where
Hmm.
it's usually one character singing a lot.
I feel
So
like
I
you'd
wonder
kill the
how.
stage actor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Truly, unless they switch him out, like maybe because he. Spoiler alert: he gets older.
Oh my
Maybe they switch him
god.
out when he gets older. Like every
That
time
could be
skip, if they
done.
switched out, but then what? You're getting three guys to sing the part like that. That's three extra actors to pay. That's three extra
Yeah.
mouths to feed. That's three extra things to practice. That
A lot of musicals where they have an older version of somebody, the same actor plays them. My favorite musical is called Sunday in the Park with George, and the first half of it,
Ooh, tell me
before the
about it.
intermission, the first half is these two characters and some people around them going through their life. And then the time skip, ooh, and then you're looking at young George, which is like a relative, a descendant of the first one,
Okay.
played by the same guy. And then there's another character who is like the main woman's, I think, daughter. But she is very old because a lot of time has passed. So it's like they keep the
Yeah.
same actors playing the descendants of the
Yeah.
same
They
people.
just have them like wear.
They just look a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
different, yeah. But that way they sound the same and the resemblance is there. So most musicals will do things like that way.
Yeah.
That's how they handle it.
That would be really cool if it did get picked up. And like again, I'm
Oh,
sure
I would
there's a
love
lot of
that.
producers looking at YouTube. I mean, Justin Bieber got discovered on YouTube. I
Hmm.
do think if it keeps getting more popular, there is a non-zero chance that some kind of
Some
producer
production
or
will do
person
it.
could pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it might not be like Broadway, like on Broadway, but there are always
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
these smaller theaters that will try these kinds of projects, and like it might work.
Yeah, I think so too. So what is the It's Sunny in the Park with George? How does
Sunday in
that
the Park with George is my favorite
give
one.
me the
Okay, synopsis.
little yeah.
Do you know the painting Sunday on La Grande Jatte? You know that one?
No.
There's a
Sunday
paint
on the let me look it up.
La Grande Jatte. Um, it's a place
Oh,
in
yeah, of course.
France.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
seen it. If they look at it, they'd be like, "Oh, I've seen that one."
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
painting was done by George Seurat. George Seurat died young, unfortunately, but he was the father of pointillism, which was painting with little dots of pure
Yeah.
pigment instead
Wait,
of
I thought it was
mixing.
called Impressionism. Am I
Nope,
wrong?
nope. Impressionism
Okay,
is
okay, okay.
something
No, I
else.
know it.
But
Okay, okay.
similar time period where a lot of things started developing.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
pointillism is like it's like old pixel art where
Okay.
you wouldn't
Oh,
mix
pixel art. I
anything
love
on a
you.
palette. Yeah, you
Yeah.
instead he'd do all these tiny dots of like the pure unmixed pigments, and then he'd step back and be like, "Look, I put blue and red next to each other. The hat looks purple." So like her
Yeah,
hat
yeah,
that
yeah,
she's
yeah.
wearing on the right is all like it's all blue and red dots when you get up close to it. It doesn't look.
That yeah, it's cool.
It's very cool to see in person. Like it's a
Mhm.
big painting, so you get close and you see like all the different pure pigment points that he made. So basically, the musical is the background of the musical looks like this painting, and like the trees get lowered
Oh,
in, like the set is literally the painting, and the characters are the people from the
cool.
painting. And then it goes through like him and him doing this painting or like starting, doing his sketches kind of for the early versions of the
That
painting.
is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the thing is like him as a character, I always really liked him because he like can't keep his life together because he's just so obsessed with painting. Like
Yeah.
so he has
Okay.
like
All
a
right. I
woman.
like that.
So the lady with the parasol on the right, like the opening numbers, she's standing there and she's like, it's so hot and I'm modeling for him and I'm just like so frustrated and she's singing about that and he's like, do not move the mouth and he's like and she's just sitting there, she has a line where she's like, there's someone in this dress, and she's just like pissed because it's just so hard to like model in like summer in France in this big old bustle.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the bustle's
Yeah.
damp. And
I
it's just funny.
love that.
Yeah, and
I
it
love
has a
that.
lot of like it's a more serious musical with bits of comedy in the middle, but
Mhm.
yeah, the main character is just this artist who's just so like he just cannot do anything other than care about art. And it goes through what those characters do and then his young descendant for the second half kind of also dealing with stuff like that. It's really good.
Out of curiosity, who has seen that musical that she's talking about? I'm just
I
curious
wonder.
because I obviously like I know the very big popular musicals, but there's so many musicals. If
there's a
you're a
ton.
musical
There's a
buff,
ton.
there's so many. Yeah, I definitely feel like I haven't heard of it. Me, but I'm a musical kid. Okay, yeah. If you're into
Yeah.
musicals a lot, you probably yeah.
I think that's one for people that already like musicals. It's usually not someone's like first musical or first 10
You
even.
have with Bernadette Peters. Let's go.
Yeah.
Giga was
Yeah.
talking about her earlier.
That one you can watch the full one with the original cast on YouTube.
On the YouTube. Let's go.
Yeah. There's because something they used to do with musicals that was so nice was they would take the stage productions and they would make a TV cut. So they would have them do the musical on stage and then they would have multiple cameras set up and,
Yeah.
get angles of it and produce like a really nice TV watchable version of it. And they
Yeah.
just don't do that anymore because then they lose money. Then people don't go to see it.
See, I
I
wanted
miss
to
that.
talk to you about it. Like,
Mhm.
is that because okay, then people lose money because they won't go see it, or is it also that like it kind of goes back again, not to make everything about content, but it's like react content and things like that, right? Where, yeah, reacting to things makes them like maybe lose out on views, but then it also
It's
makes the
also
impact
promotion.
bigger. It's promotion, so
Yeah,
them
well,
doing that
most of
wouldn't that
their
also help
money
things?
is
Yeah.
from ticket sales. They don't have good ways to monetize musicals outside of that, so they're a little desperate for the ticket sales to be good.
True.
But for other industries, I'm always like, no, promotion's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because I
Subjects that I
love
used to do
the
that.
TV
You can only
ones.
buy DVDs at the show. Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's
yeah.
more of these guys. Wait. Oh, never mind. It's the wait mirror. I also was like, wait, I didn't think there was more of them. Look at them. It's Mr. Farquaad, the Lord,
Yeah, in the little window.
in the little window.
He's cheesing it. I should bring you to a musical.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely something where every single time I've been to New York, it's one of those things that like you gotta book kind of early.
Yes,
And
usually.
then okay, I say this with love in my heart. Unless it's a really phenomenal musical, I don't really need to see Lion King. Like I
I
know,
agree.
like,
Oh no, it's
but
not
unless
worth
like
it.
no, Matara, you don't understand. The songs are insane. Cool, yeah, I'm in.
I'd rather
But
just listen to the soundtrack for one of those.
like if it's a story that I really, really know, I don't know. I say this, but then like Phantom of the Opera, right? Like that, or what is it called? Like Repo something. It's like a different
Genetic
name.
musical.
Yeah. Like sure, I will watch that again, even though I kind of know the story. Like it.
I would bring you to
Yeah.
something you had not seen. I should make you watch Hades Town.
Ooh, what is it
It's
like?
it's the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, right? Where he
Oh,
needed
okay.
to
Yeah.
play his music and he needed a muse and he needed to play his music to bring spring back or whatever, right? But it's got like southern music. It's like blues and a lot of this kind of stuff. It's got a lot of
Awesome.
like really really interesting writing as well, and it's a
Hadestown is
modern
DK's
setting.
favorite. Oh, a lot of folks are saying it's their favorite. That makes me so
It's
happy.
done so well in recent years. It came out of nowhere and it just like everyone loves it. It's really good.
I definitely think if I lived in a place where musicals were a lot more accessible, I would go a lot more, especially, now that I have more adult money. And you don't need to go, by the way, to like the really expensive, like I'd go on a Monday night, right? Or like one
Yeah,
of those
yeah, yeah,
rare
always.
showings. Yeah. I don't
The
need to go with
matinee on
really
a
busy.
Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yep,
Cheap. Oh, yeah.
that's the way to
That's
do it.
exactly what I want to do because Friday night I want to be streaming.
Yeah. When I was a broke student, um, I was able to. So I always loved musicals, but I wasn't able to see a lot. But they had student passes, so you could go and see them for free or for like
Yeah.
$10. So I would go and see them with a student pass, and especially they would do the dress rehearsals for like students only or special passes, so you could go and watch like with like very little crowd. Very rarely would they stop mid dress rehearsal to address something. They were just doing the musical, but I would be
Yeah.
able to see a lot of them at like weird times because of that. And that was
That
how I
sounds
watched a lot of
cool.
musicals.
That actually sounds really, really cool.
Yeah.
You always do the Sunday matinee. Yeah, I think if I lived in a place that does a lot more of them, I would absolutely make it a routine. Same thing with comedy shows. I really like when I lived in cities that had a lot more comedy shows, I would go way more often. I love like
Yeah.
local pub, Tuesday night. Um I really, really like that.
Me
I also
too.
just like supporting that kind of stuff. It makes me happy. So
I
Yeah.
like live entertainment. I think that's what I've realized, and that's one of the reasons I like musicals so much, because I like music, I like singing, all
Yeah.
that. But like, I just like watching people do it live. That's all.
Yeah.
I think that's why I
You
like
know,
streamers.
I wonder if for me too, like I've I feel like when I started streaming, I would go to comedy shows and stuff like that a lot more. I'll try to like catch
Mm.
like even a random band sometimes, like doing a show, even if I go alone. Um, I feel like maybe because I stream, like it's nice to actually be like in a bar with other people, in
Yeah,
like, a theater with other folks. You're like, oh,
I am the audience.
yeah, it's
It's
nice.
me. Yeah,
It's nice.
I like it.
What other shows are there? I'm thinking there's comedy shows. There's obviously like jazz performances, burlesque.
Hmm.
There's somebody's like, yes, Matara, I too enjoy a nice burlesque performance every Friday night at the local. But you get it, right? Hmm.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I think also like living in a place that has more of them, and who knows, maybe if you're living in a place that doesn't have a lot of them, you could organize some.
There's
I
always something. Like even if you live in the middle of nowhere, there's something somewhere.
I will say one thing that I am a little bit like about is because I do like to stream Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are a lot of amateur like comedy or amateur singing that happens mostly Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, but I want to go. Like I said, I want to go like a Monday night. Give me Monday night comedy. Give me Tuesday night something.
Hmm. I
Drag shows are cool.
agree.
Also true.
They can be fun. I
Yeah.
started to get a little bothered by all the people showing up in like how do I say it? It's like a clown show for them and not like just
Oh,
a cool
yeah, the
performance.
comedy shows. I agree. The comedy shows where people heckle. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
Like
my
I want
god,
to see what these people have for material.
oh, I was watching this one live comedy show,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some girl who like thought the guy was cute, and so she was like
Ooh.
heckling him because he was cute, but she was like
Okay.
not doing it tactfully, and she was just so annoying. She was so annoying, and he kept making a lot of jokes about like ex-girlfriends, things like that. Like a lot of his material was that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So she would
Which
always have
again, like, who
something to
else are you gonna have
say.
material on?
Well,
You know.
right. But
Go
the thing
on.
is, like, he would be like, so I told my ex whatever, and she'd be like, I would never do that. Like everything he said, I was like, oh my god.
Oh no, that's so bad. Oof. You just
I was
you just
dying.
touched on a fear of mine. Like I am very good with being embarrassed. I do not care if I trip in a
Mm,
restaurant, if I fall down, if I do something embarrassing.
yeah.
But I do like please, if anybody here goes to comedy shows a lot or like how do I make sure because I've been singled out a few times and I've even been like please no,
Oh, like
like
they
please
point at
do not
you.
talk to me. And then they'll continue and I'm like I asked you nicely to stop. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Don't like that. I don't like that and I don't know why I'm always in their target. I think I know
I know
why.
why.
I dress very
Mm-hmm.
flamboyantly.
It's not just
Yeah.
that. You when you find something funny, you're laughing, you're having a great time. You
Oh,
look
so they
like you're having a
noticed
great
me.
time. You know, you're like, ah
Yeah.
ha ha, can you believe this guy? You're like slapping your friend next to you on the shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm animated.
Yeah,
Yeah, animated.
exactly.
You're right.
So I think they see that and they're like, I can trust that this person finds me funny, so I will single them out.
Yeah,
Because other
but
people
I
are
do
like
not.
giggling to themselves lightly, and you're like, is this a real laugh or is this a pity laugh? You know?
I am smacking the table laughing.
Hmm.
I am rolling on the floor.
Yeah,
Speaking of rolling on,
literally.
I I'm showing Momo's my TikToks tomorrow, and I just remembered like this TikTok that I sent to you, which I think to this day still only has like 10 likes. I don't know why it appeared on my page.
Oh,
It was just like somebody saying Italian swear words, and it killed me.
I
It
remember
was
this one.
so yeah. They'll
Yeah.
see it tomorrow. But yeah, you're right. Maybe that's where they pick me out. So I have to look like I'm having less of a good time
Yeah, you
at
have
the
to learn to golf clap, and when they tell a joke, you go, ah ha 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 ha, ah ha 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 ha, to yourself.
damn it.
Ah ha ha ha.
But
Oh, you.
streaming has made it where, like, if I am myself, they like it.
Oh no.
I know. It's my fault.
Oh God.
Um, Ugh. Usually I find that like if I order food and I eat it, they typically like they stop picking on me if I'm eating.
Oh.
If I'm not eating too much, because
Interesting.
then if I'm eating too much, they might pick. I don't know. Does anybody else have this problem? Guys, like does anybody else have this problem? How do I make sure they don't pick on me? And I know not laughing so loud could be one solution, but that's a tough one for me.
That's hard, yeah.
That's a tough one. I do not sit in the front row. I am a little bit blind, but I sit like
Ooh, I know
sit
one.
fairly far. Well, yeah, talk to me.
Wear a face mask so they when they look at you, they think about how annoying it would be for you to have to like pull the mask down to yell to them and they don't address you.
Ooh. Or they might try to be like, "A mask, really? COVID was 6 years ago. Why are you
Take
wearing
the
a mask?"
diaper off your chin.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, what? What did you
Never
say?
heard that one when they tell you to take
No,
the
no.
diaper off your chin?
Take the diaper off your chin. That's crazy. That is wild. That's funny. I have not heard that one. They are frequently called face diapers. What?
It's usually by like old men that hate
that?
face masks and thought like
Yeah.
the disease wasn't real.
I am. I love old cranky men. That's it. That's all I want to say. They're so funny.
I agree.
Like today, because I was in the United States of America and I was at the Walmart, it was lively. People were doing stuff. Like it felt like I was watching, you know, a skit, and I would just see people arguing about stuff or like get mad that they're like ramming their like little carts into each other, and I was like, man, this is funny. I like this. And I just
oh people, oh society.
old men and women, by the way, not just old men. Old women, I'm watching you too. I'm watching you too.
It's funny because people get more and more set in their ways, more and more okay with
Yeah.
just saying whatever, you know? They
Yeah.
just get weirder and I like it.
I am genuinely really obviously like the physical of getting older isn't amazing. Everything's gonna sag, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, but I am just excited to give less Fs. Truly.
Mm-hmm.
And like I am somebody that cares a lot, but even if something bad happens, I can when I was younger and like something bad happened, let's say, example I love to use, let's say I have a husband and a sister. I don't have a husband or a sister, but let's say. And my husband and my sister, basically he cheats on me with her. If I was younger, I would think, what did I do wrong as a sister? What did I do wrong as a partner? What did I do wrong? Now I can easily be like, look, I may have not been the perfect wife or the perfect sister, but these two are weirdos and screw them. I don't want anything to do. Block on both of them,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So I'm very happy with that as I get older, and I'm excited to give less fucks. I think genuinely. What about you?
I
Where do
agree.
you
That
feel
is
like
that is the best part of aging.
Yeah.
Hands
Just
down.
giving less fucks? Like, what are you gonna do? You know?
Once
So
once
what
your
if it's
prefrontal
yeah.
cortex is fully solidified, you're
yeah.
beyond 26, you know, your brain's
Yeah.
feeling it. Life just changes.
Yup. Oh, spoiler alert. A lot of the TikToks I have saved tomorrow. Some of them it's like, people, it's something like, AI could never replace me. Who else is out here like chain smoking 3 packs of cigarettes and drinking 6 like Aperol spritzes by 11 a.m.?
Oh my God.
AI couldn't do this. That's me as I get older. Like, what do you mean? So what if I shat myself at the restaurant at 11 a.m.? I'm 92. It's a
Oh,
miracle
yeah.
I made it this far. You know?
There are a
You're
lot of when
welcome,
you
man.
see like
You
a
guys
really
don't
old
understand
person
it.
walking around, people be like, "Wow, they're really walking." Like everything they do, people are like, "Wow,
Wow.
so brave."
I have spent so many years moisturizing every crevice of my body, exfoliating, shaving, cleaning, laser, whatever. I'm excited for it to be a stinky, stinky, cruddy old woman. I want to pass next to you and you being like, I can smell the musk and the death on her. Good. Smell my deterioration.
Yes.
It's my right. I have earned it.
I
Sorry, I'm getting
agree.
really into this.
No, no, you're
This
so
is why
right
they
though.
pick on me. This is why they pick on me in the comedy
It's because you're
club.
this person. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh. But yeah, I'm really excited to give less Fs. And what are some stuff that you feel as you've gotten older,
Mm.
you've gotten better at caring less about? I guess is the big one.
Everything, but I feel like
Everything.
I feel like before, if I like didn't do well with something and I felt
Mhm.
guilty, I would get like completely stun locked, right?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Especially if there wasn't anything I could do to like fix a situation at that moment in
Yeah.
time. But now
Fixer
I'm just
mentality.
like, that sucks. I can't do anything right now. I'll just move on with my day until I can do something about,
I have
fixing this
actually
thing.
learned a lot of that from you. I feel like you,
Yeah.
despite also being like me, where you're like, I can help, I can fix, I can do. I see you being like, hey, I can't do anything.
What
So,
can you do?
l- yeah, literally,
Yep.
she'll be like, it is what it is. What can you do? And walk away. And I'm there like, huh? You have taught me a
Hmm.
lot for that.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if you can't do anything to alleviate an issue right now, even if it's like
Yeah,
your own fuck ups, you feel guilty and
yeah,
you're like
yeah, yeah,
desperate to
yeah.
do something, then there's nothing to do.
Yep.
You should make yourself feel better. That's the best use of your time, because then when you can actually do something, you will feel refreshed. You'll be in a good headspace. You know
Mm-hmm,
what I mean? Like, I
mm-hmm.
feel like it's
Yeah,
actually the better thing to do.
agreed.
That's it.
A big one for me is like, when I was much younger, I had like a definitely like this is the right thing to do and this is the wrong thing to do.
Mm.
So if people do the wrong thing, like if I felt that it was morally or anything like that, and as I've gotten older, I definitely see a lot more nuance where it's like, first of all, not everybody lives my experience. Just because somebody was mean to me doesn't mean they were mean to somebody else, right? Just because somebody had an experience with me doesn't mean they're like that. Yes, there are types often that people will have a pattern of behavior, right? Maybe they're
Hmm.
mean to everybody, not just me. But just getting better at um, I definitely struggle when I was younger with like, this person treated me horribly. How could you like be in their life or how could you do this? But now I kind of
Right.
understand like people make their own decisions, people have their own stuff. Like just really embracing that people are allowed to be different. Like people can do things that upset me and I'm still going to be their friend. Like I
Right.
could be upset at a decision that my friend makes. Like if my friend decides for the 15th time to go back with her ex-husband, I could be upset. I could be like, "You are a dumb bitch. Why do you keep doing this?" But I could still love her and have her in my life and think she's great. Things like that where
Right.
that's gotten so much better with age
Hmm.
where I'm like I can I can just let people have their problems and there are times where I can't fix them. I can listen, I
Yeah.
can be there, but um,
Yeah, not everyone's problems are anything to do with you,
no,
no matter how close you are to them. That's how
exactly.
I am. I think over time I've definitely like, I was always a fixer, not because I like would go out of my way to fix, but because friends would come to me for help.
Yeah, of
And
course.
when a friend is like, I need help with this thing, I need to know what to
Mhm.
do here, I need advice, I would always stop and give advice or help where I could.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
over time, I've been like, I'm wasting my breath on a lot of these people. Even if they're
Yeah,
earnestly listening in that moment, they're not going to change anything. So
yeah,
I've got like, I'm way better at not spending too much time doing that.
yeah.
Because
Preserve your
look,
energy.
I mean, you can tell the same person the same thing 5 times in a row. If they haven't done it after the
Yeah.
first 2 times you give advice, it's not going to happen, Like, so
Yep.
you shouldn't
Yeah, yeah,
waste
yeah.
your own time on it. Doesn't mean you don't love
That,
them, but.
that's another thing too that I've gotten better with is like, let's say a friend of mine wants to, let's say, example, my friend wants to complain about her partner or husband. I'm
Mm.
there. You can talk to me. You can vent. I'll listen, etc. But also, I am allowed as a friend to sometimes be like, hey, actually, I am not in the mind space to listen to this today. Doesn't
Yeah,
make me a bad friend. Of course, there's a certain expectations when you're friends with people of like, I'm there for you, I'll listen, but like my friend is not my therapist. There are problems that I definitely like I cannot rely on my friends for therapy.
Yeah.
and just getting better at realizing it doesn't make me a bad friend to prioritize me and be like, hey, actually, I I cannot talk to you about this today. If you would like,
Yeah.
we can go out Friday night, we can have a beer, we can talk about it. Or sometimes even just be like, I don't think I'm the right person for this conversation. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
just be okay with that decision of like, it's okay. That's been a really, really big one as I got older.
Fully agreed.
Yeah, Giga is like you're it's again, you care so much and you're so good at helping. You're always there, but I see you being so good at being like, "Hey, I'm just going to order fried chicken and cuddle my cat and like
Yeah.
tomorrow's another
Yep.
day. It is what it is."
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a waste of time. And for me, if I'm sad about something, if I sit there and lament and I like show a lot of like outward expressions, if I start venting to somebody or something like that, it makes me feel
Yeah.
worse and it prolongs me feeling worse. That's how I feel. Not everyone's like that. Some people venting is like, it's called
Yeah.
venting because getting it out
Yeah,
helps
yeah,
them.
yeah.
It
Hmm.
doesn't help me. Like I'm just not that person. So for me, and I hate the phrase bottling it up because that concept is foreign to me. For me, it's like the more I don't sit there and try to like release
Stew on
something,
it.
the more it just doesn't bother me. I'm able to move past it. I'm able to like internalize, think about it. Like I just need to sit there with myself and think about a thing and then I'm done with it, you know? But I'll
Yeah,
hear people be like, you can't bottle up emotions. And I'm like, not everyone has to tell
yeah.
everyone everything all the time.
Agreed.
And if I think about something with myself, I decide how I feel about it, what I want to do about it. I solemnly within my own head go, this is how I
Yeah.
feel. And then I don't talk about it. That doesn't mean I'm like not okay. That
Yeah.
just means I'm like,
Bottling it up and resenting
yeah, I'm
it
just
and
not prolonging
Mhm.
myself feeling like shit. That's all.
You've helped me with that also. I feel that I am somebody that I like venting, I like talking, it's fun.
Mm.
But I also started realizing that like sometimes things are really not that big of a deal, and me venting about them only kind of keeps me feeling unhappy.
You work yourself
Um,
up. I think a
yeah,
lot of people
and
do
I
that,
really do,
especially in
especially
the
like
moment.
because I am emotional. Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
tell I tell
Mhm.
people all the time when something is fresh and they're like venting about it, I'm like, you know what you should do? You should vent about it the next day. You should go,
Yeah.
this
Take a
sucks.
nap.
You should go watch a show. Yeah, take a nap,
Hmm.
do something, do an immediate like coping mechanism to just feel
Yeah.
better and then vent about it because then you've thought about it. But when people
I've
start venting
started
before
doing that
thinking,
more.
oof, yeah.
I've started doing that more. I'm not perfect. I've definitely, you know, I'm still a very like highly. I'm the kind of person where like if I'm in a good mood, I can get myself into like if I'm in a good mood, I'm electric. But same thing, if I'm in a bad mood, I can get very bad.
Mm.
So I've noticed where it's like it doesn't make me a bad person if I don't want to vent like because
Yeah.
sometimes too like yeah, I've had a bad day, and somebody will be like, "Do you want to vent? Do you want to talk about it?" No, because I'll be fine in 10 minutes. But if I
Yeah.
sit here and explain to you why my day is bad, it's gonna
You're
piss me off, and then
ruminating.
everything like now I'm gonna suddenly notice how other things piss me off. Right? It's
Hmm.
like it almost like dials my brain to start looking for that more, and then I'll be pissed
Yeah.
at everything. Then I'll be like, "What the hell is this person looking at on the street? This is dumb." Da, 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 da. And it's like this weird cycle of like now I just like I don't know wired myself negatively.
Yeah, that's how I see it for
Um,
me. Like, the more time I just let my brain sit in this negative kind of zone, the more I'm just festering and like it doesn't help
Yeah.
me at all.
Hmm.
So I try to take myself out of that as quickly as possible. And then yeah, some people will be like, "Oh, by not venting everything or doing this or doing that, you're bottling it up," which is just that's not a scientific term, by the way. That's just something that people
Some
imagine in
dude.
their heads that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Um, things don't need to be released. You just need to sit there and think about it. If
Yep.
I weren't thinking about it all, then I'd agree that like that's bad. But no, I just sit there and think to myself. That's all.
Yeah.
you know. But
I've
it's better that way, I think, for me at least.
I've gone to the point where like I bottle it up because also like that's another thing, right? If I'm in a really good mood, I'll think about it differently than I'm in a bad mood. And then I am so used to because I grew up like, Eastern European and we bottle things up and I'm used to kind of minimizing my emotions. So
Well,
my
yeah,
first instinct when anything bad happens, like let's say something awful happens to me, like I don't know, I don't drive a car, so I'm going to use this as an example. Somebody crashes their car into me. my first instinct will be like, oh my God, I hope they're not going to be upset, blah, 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 blah. When it's like, then I kind of need a day or two to actually allow myself to be like, hey, fuck you. You drove into me. But then that's the problem because I then allow myself to feel my feelings. Then that's like the danger zone where I get a little bit like, and you know what? And fuck my mom that one time, and fuck my friend
Yeah,
that
it
one
all
time. And then
starts
suddenly
coming
I'm
out. Your brain. I think that's the thing, right? It depends. People think differently, but like for some people, when you have a negative experience, your brain does that. It's like, what else can I associate this with?
Yeah.
Because that's what
What
brains
else?
do.
What's the last time I was so upset, right? And all that. But
When
that's
was
why
the
I
last
noticed
time
for
I was
me.
betrayed? And then you think about every betrayal in your
Yeah.
life, and you start crying and eating ice cream.
Yep. So my thing that like has helped me a lot is just, think about it, process it, deal with it personally. But then I will usually vent about it one time
Yeah.
or maybe two time. But and I tell all my friends, if I am venting to a friend about it, like I'm already finding this, like for example, if I tell a friend, hey, I'm done living here, I'm moving out, just so my friend knows, like I'm moving out, like I am leaving. And I'm gonna use this example with Hollywood where I sat, my three coworkers down. I was like, hey guys, I'm very unhappy. I think like if things don't change, I will have to leave. And then a few months later, I sat them down. I'm like, hey guys, things haven't changed. I'm leaving. They're like, wait, what do you mean? I didn't think you were serious. I'm like, what part of me saying, hey, this is all the reason why I'm unhappy. This is all the reason why there's no changes. I have, asked for these changes or I've talked about them and there's none. Like, so I'm very much like that, where when I get to that point, it's, yeah, I always give a last chance and like a Hail Mary, I guess. I don't know what to say, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I always,
good.
but I put it all on the table where I'm like, hey, like, that's why I'm always shocked
this
with
is
like
what I
even
need.
ex-husbands who have been like, I had no idea. I'm like, really? You had no idea I was going to cannibalize your body when I told you a million times, hey, if this keeps happening, I'm going to eat you. Hey, if
Yep.
this keeps happening, I'm going to eat you. Watch out. This is how I'm going to eat you. Then they're like, oh my God, she
Shocked
ate me.
Pikachu face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know she was going to eat me. I'm like, but I told you I was going to eat you a million times. What do you mean?
I think
What do you mean you
that's
didn't
one of
know?
those things that in people that frustrates me the most is when I don't, if I'm like not happy with something, I don't yell. I don't like get super outwardly seeming upset, or anything like that. I just say, "Hey, I don't like this and here is why." And I lay it out
Mm-hmm.
very matter of fact. So because of that, sometimes people don't treat it with a sense of urgency
Oh,
or
yeah.
realness
That you're
because
serious.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
yelling. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not crying. I'm not like showing some sort of crazy amount of negative emotion where they're like, now I have to do something. So
Yeah.
I get that a lot where like people don't take certain things seriously, and then I'm like, well, I
Ah,
said it though.
yeah. Yeah, I warned, and like, I laid it all out here very, very crystal clear. Hello.
Hmm.
uh, yeah, that's something that I've gotten a lot better at, and I always use this phrase of like, I want and by the way, if you're that friend that you complain about the same thing to your friend, don't worry about it. I also complain about similar things to, like my roommates and stuff like that. That's very normal. But I always use this phrase of like, I want new problems. Especially
Yeah.
if it's like big life problems, not like a little ooh hee hee, but I want new problems every time. I do not want to be having the same problem. And again, to use the Hollywood example, because I've used it before. There was a time when Mint and we were watching an anime called Yorimoy, Place Further than the Universe, girls going to Antarctica. And every single week when we would meet up to watch this anime, I would cry my eyes out because I was so unhappy. And she was great. She listened. We kind of complained, na na na. And at one point, I swear to God, Giga, I kind of like, I don't know if it was one of those like, ooh, deja vu or something, but something felt odd. And I like could see myself at the edge of my room looking at myself a year from now, crying about the same things. And it gave like, I hate when
Oh
everybody,
yeah.
uses the word the ick, but it gave me the ick about myself. And I was like, I cannot, I respect myself too much to
to just stay
Be
doing
here in
this.
exactly a year, complaining to Mint about the exact same stuff, crying as hard as I am,
Right.
just watching like Yorimoy season 3, you know? No. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And it worked. It punched me in the teeth.
I think
I don't
that's
know.
kind of going back to like things you get better at as you get older. For me, one of them is like being able to decide when I have had enough and not
Yeah.
like getting stuck to something for too long. I think that's something that comes with age.
Yeah, because you want to give chances, right? But then there comes with most things, you're like, okay, I've tried enough. Like, I've tried enough.
Yeah.
It's, I wouldn't have auditioned for Hollywood if my previous stuff was just going a little bit better and stuff like that. Like, you always have to remember, too, that you are where you are because of the risks you took.
Yeah.
In English, it's
Exactly.
called A Place Further Than the Universe. And Amelie voices in the English version.
Yes.
Crazy. Yeah, that's another thing, definitely, that I think just, yeah, like, I don't know if grace is the right word, but giving people their grace as well. Another thing, too, um, ugh, and this, like, this is going to sound a little bit toxic, but
Mm.
when I was younger and something bad happened, I could stay mad for a long time.
Mm.
And I know it sounds toxic to say this, but like I genuinely have a hard time keeping, like, obviously I could still keep a grudge, don't get me wrong, but not in the same way. Like eventually a
Yeah.
grudge just feels like, what am I upset about? Like it's fine. Like I have
Like
gotten
time
so
just
good.
passes. Yeah.
I've gotten so good at being like, whatever. Like they were a dumb 25-year-old. Yeah, it sucks what they did, but like, like I just kind of start understanding people's motives a lot more. So
Hmm.
even if my friend does something really, really bad, I'll be like, yeah, but I get it. I understand where it's coming from. I understand her character or his character, right? And you then just kind of decide, am I keeping this person in my life or not? But, this could be a side effect of it, right?
Right.
And I don't know, a part of me is a little sad because I kind of enjoyed being a little bit of a petty hater. you know?
It's a good energy to have for certain situations, but not others.
Yeah. But I've gotten to the point where like I'm forgiving everybody. But that's another thing too. You can forgive people. You can like make amends, but be like, we don't gotta be friends though, right? Like we're living
Right.
different lives. Like if you, let's say, meet your high school bully 20 years later, right? And you make up and you're good and you don't hate them, you don't gotta go grab beers with them after. Like you're good. You
Hmm.
got your friends, you got your life, you got your family. You don't need to then like make it go into a deep friendship, right? uh
Yeah, laying next to them late at night, just talking about life.
yeah. Kissing their ear. Oh my god, now the best part. Looking for all the Do you know how to find them in this game, by the way?
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever we're
yeah.
missing?
Hold tower, look
Yeah.
through the little menu.
Yeah. Good, 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 good. And it will like sparkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that staying upset. But then, you know, hmm what to completely pivot from this, what are your gaming plans this summer? Do you have any like big series? You said you were starting you were continuing Mafia, things like that. What are
Yeah.
some of your big gaming projects for this upcoming?
Um, I'm finishing Mafia. I'm gonna do the next game in that, and then I have a few things I want to do. I wanted to play Sleeping Dogs.
Ooh, what is that?
I don't know enough about it,
Okay.
but I've seen a couple videos of gameplay, and it
hmm
looks good. And as I've
What
been
about
playing
it
Mafia,
interests
people are
you
like, it's
as a
it's
as a game?
it's like gritty story, street
Ooh.
violence, all that kind of stuff.
She loves her street violence. That's my
Love
Giga.
street violence. Love that.
That's my Giga
That's
I
my
know and
shit.
love. Mm-hmm.
But it's very like it's a type of setting I usually like stories in.
Yeah.
So, and I want to play more of those kinds of games because for the longest time I played so many indie games that have like no real plot or plot that I don't care about, so I just kind of skip through because I'm there for the gameplay or whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Like little roguelites. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I did that for forever, and now I'm on my story game arc.
I remember when you were playing Hitman, I would actually lurk in your streams quite often.
Oh, it's
You do
so
like
good.
I do think you're very good with like picking the games you're picking and
Mm.
making it entertaining, even though there's a long cut scene and stuff like that. And it's always been really, really fun to watch.
Because
I think you're
I
really
get
good at
so
that.
into the drama, you know. I'm
Yeah.
playing this game and someone's like, but it was his sister the whole time, and I'm like, what? And
It was his
I just keep
sister.
freaking out. I'm like, no way, I called it. I love
Do you
it.
like detective games or not really?
Oh, I do a lot.
Because then there's a problem of like people spoiling, right? That too, like.
Oh my god,
Ugh,
spoilers
or
should
like you're playing a
die.
detective game and people are like, pay attention to this part. It's gonna be important later. You're like, homie, you gotta pay attention to every
Oh,
part.
I
Every
hate
part's
it.
gonna be important later. Come on, stop this.
Or when you haven't gotten up to anything to indicate that there's some major thing yet, and they go, oh, this part, haha,
Yeah,
laughing emoji, and I'm like,
yeah.
dude,
You're like, oh, yeah.
dude.
Because there is an anime detective game, but you probably have seen it. AI Somnium Files.
Yeah.
That was not an excited. Yeah.
No, no, I have. No, no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to like picture it in my head as I'm
Yeah.
saying it. I have seen it.
Yeah.
I
Wow, an
haven't played it.
avocado.
Wow.
Thanks. I
Yeah.
think if you like just if you don't mind that it's super anime, AI Somnium Files is insane. I have seen like 5 people play it. It is great. I don't know how your audience would be when it comes to those kinds of games. I don't know if they're going to be, but if ever, think about it. Think about it.
I will. I mean, I've played a lot of games like that. What I do is I usually load up detective games with Haruka. We play them together.
Cute. Oh, Haruka. Haruka's a little weeb.
She
How
knows
was
it.
the sponsor yesterday or the other day?
It was
It was
so
yesterday.
good. So it's a new
Yeah.
Rune Factory game. I don't know if you've played them. It's like,
I played one of them for sure, but
yeah,
they
so
do
they
blank in my mind.
it's like kind of like the Harvest Moon franchise, which is
Yeah,
now
but with
Story of
fighting.
Seasons. It's like that, but yeah, there's like fantasy stuff. This game plays so differently from a lot of the older ones, but in like a really good
Mhm.
way. Like they did a lot of quality of life changing, so it's not like tedious, and I've been liking it
Mhm.
so much.
Ooh, is this going to be one of those offline Giga games?
Yeah, it's gonna be a Steam Deck in bed kind of game.
Mm-hmm. See, this is why I don't get a Steam Deck in bed because I'm out here on TikTok. Maybe I should be Steam Decking in bed
You
instead.
should.
Especially because I do miss like I don't really enjoy playing story games on stream because I lose attention to the story, right? Like
Mm.
I'm paying attention to stream or somebody raids or something funny happens, but I would like to play more story games in bed.
You should. You just have to let yourself watch it like it's a drama, you know?
Yeah, like a movie. How do I get up there? Hold on. Do I have to? I think I have to jump off of something. Hold on. Trying to use my big brain to figure this out.
My brain's so big, so huge.
Yeah, and then it kind of gives you something to look forward to in bed every night, right? Where you're like, oh, I can't
Exactly.
wait to do like a chapter or two of my game.
Which makes me go to bed on time. Very important.
Which for you is like 5 a.m.
6, 7, yeah.
You're insane for that. There have been times when I will message Giga at 7 a.m. because I'm waking up and she'll reply to me. And like one time I remember we had a meeting with somebody at like noon. And you were like, haha, going to bed.
Yeah, and
At
that's not a ruined schedule for me.
7.
I just don't sleep very long. So for me, that was like totally fine. And she was like, how are you going to wake up? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
girl, I'm up in the morning too. Like,
No,
I'm up in the morning and then I sleep and then I'm up in the morning again. You know?
I am an alarm turner offer. Even if I put my alarm on the other side of my room, I will get out of bed, turn it off, and then get back to bed. And I
Oh,
do
I
this
don't
all
do
without
that.
like super realizing that I'm doing it. It's not great.
When I'm up, I'm up. Like when my eyes crack open, I cannot possibly sleep again, and I'm there.
I want to be like you when I grow up. Also, I get this every time I play this game where people say if I use C, but like that you can like rotate your gun around. But I like moving my body around instead of the gun. Does that make like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get that comment I don't know why people don't like the way that I wash, but for me, like, I just like doing it the way I do. I can't explain it.
Let her play the
I
game.
don't like. No, 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 it's fine. It was just one comment. It was just one comment, and
Let her do it. Me,
but
me, me,
I
me.
sometimes I get them a lot. Today it was only one time, but yeah, sometimes I get them a lot. Wagon axles. I thought I got all the Oh, okay, I see them. They're here. I gotta go down. With people being subscribed, are some people subscribed longer than their possible life?
Oh my god.
Yes, because their grandkids inherit the credit card, and as long as they don't cancel the credit card, yes, I might get a few good months out of them for a little bit. Maybe. Probably.
That one.
I wanted to ask you, this was actually one of my first questions that I had, like, just in case we had a lull, and then we haven't had a single lull in convo because we're yappers. Have you always been a yap? Like, do you come from a long line of yappers, or did you kind of develop the yap because of your work and stuff like that and environments?
I was always capable of talking, but chat, believe it or not, I'm actually a quiet person, I would say. Where I
believe it.
don't actually talk that much. Like when I'm in person and I'm sitting around and everyone's having a great time, I don't say anything. And then if someone asks a question and I have something to say, I might give a long-winded whatever, and then I just go back to being quiet. And the only reason that people hear me talk a lot is because there's no one to talk back to me when I'm just looking at chat. There's no one in the VC with me.
You just keep yapping.
Yeah, so I just keep talking. But I usually leave a lot of space for other people to talk. So I'm just one of those.
You're just one of those.
I'm just one of those.
When you started oh yeah, sorry.
No, no,
I thought you were taking the lull in the combo. No, no, no. I was gonna change topic lightly, but not really. So
I was gonna say, all of my teachers always would comment and say I'm so quiet and I'm so shy. And then my mom would be like, "What the hell are you talking about? She is not quiet nor shy." But then she would watch me like exist, and she'd be like, "You know what? I get it," because I go in and out. It just depends on environment.
It's funny, some folks are saying that, like, for them, they like changing the nozzle and stuff. I just feel like I find the nozzle I like, and I power wash most things with that one nozzle. And then I just change, like, one or two for the little crevices. Yeah. I definitely have always been a yapper. And some of it, I think, is obviously, like, the way I was brought up. I'm definitely, like, an extroverted person, and I was kind of praised for my extroversion, but there is something that, like, I don't know if this happened for you in the Italian household, but when I was younger, I don't know if it's like because I'm an only child and my parents are only like there's no cousins, there's no aunties, there's no nothing. If guests would come over, they would make me stand on a chair and recite poetry or sing songs.
Oh my god!
Like, I was the clown. I'm serious. Like this like went on for a really long time. And
I would have been mortified.
That's why, like, when people ask me what's embarrassing, I'm like, nothing. Nothing is embarrassing. I have done, like, you cannot embarrass me. I'm good. Well, you could, but I'm good.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I had a huge sense, like, I was very easily embarrassed, like, by everything in the world.
Every young person is.
Yeah.
That's why every young person is like, oh my god, it's so cringe. I can't believe you said. Oh my god, the younger gen being like, oh my god, that's so cringe. That's so cringe. I'm like, it's not cringe that I asked the person next to me if they have an iPhone charger, because like people ask each other if they have iPhone chargers at the cafe. It's not a big deal.
Kids are like that.
Yeah.
I feel like when we get those people that comment on a video being like, nah, it's a VTuber skull emoji.
Ugh, yeah.
I feel like when we get that, they're usually kids.
I know you're 16. I know you are a child. I know you are not fully baked in the frontal lobe, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But the way the poems were read, by the way, just for anybody listening, like Eastern Europeans, the way they teach us to read in school is, I think that also adds to my dramatic flair. It's not like she went to the park. It's like, and then she went to the park. The park was bright and sunny on that day. It's like dramatic reading of the poems. Oh, so I've been through it. But I think I was always a yapper, and then waitressing and streaming and like school presentation. I okay, I I know you'll believe me when I tell you. You know how in school the teacher would say if anybody wants to volunteer first for a presentation, they get extra
Mm,
points? Me, every time. I was like,
yeah.
I'll go first. I'll do way less work and I'll just go first, and then I never have to worry about it. I volunteered for every single thing I could go first in.
I was one of those too because I liked to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And everyone would be
And then
like
allegedly I'd
expecting
skip
me to be
school.
quiet, so they'd like expect me to not do that, but then I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was
She's
quiet but
breaking
not
expectations.
embarrassed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would skip
But
school.
definitely, I mean, look, if you have a presentation and then the next three classes it's people presenting their stuff, I'm good. I would maybe allegedly, apparently, stay home and play video games. Allegedly.
Big mood.
Um, but yeah, I think for yapping, it was always a thing. Streaming has made me monologue more. Where
Mm.
when I was younger, it wasn't so like I can never just say, "Oh, I had a coffee there; it was good." It's like I woke up, right, sunny afternoon, and I'm thinking to myself, I should go down the street to get a snack," and like everything becomes this long-winded story,
Yep.
and I don't know
I
how to
noticed
change
that
that, Giga.
too because like in my work, one of the
Hmm.
most important skills was being succinct, right? Which is saying the
Yep.
thing you want to say in the fewest words possible as clearly as possible, right?
Yeah.
That was my number one skill. Now I feel like I can't do that shit anymore. Like everything
Nope.
I say, when I listen to streams of myself, I'm like, why am I saying so many words
Yep.
to get to the point? But that's part of the entertainment value, you know. But like,
Exactly.
but I don't
People
think
want to
about it. I
hear
just
the
do it.
yapping.
Yeah.
People just want to hear words, words, words. They want to hear your voice speaking them. That's
Hmm.
it. It's better than the brain making thoughts.
Exactly. Drown out the voices.
Yep. Yeah, it's gotten bad sometimes where sometimes in the middle of stories I have to be like, wait a second. I will genuinely have to like, I guess, I don't know, self-soothe, not self-soothe, but like self-regulate, be like, wait a second. I'm taking too long on this story. I'm sorry. That has happened so many times.
Mm.
Oh. So that's your fault, Momos. Not mine. Not mine.
Not mine.
Another thing about your yapping. So
Mm.
obviously, right, when you're streaming, you're being very, some would say, compared to other VTubers, that you hit the jugular a little bit more, right? Like you'll say things exactly how
Oh,
they are. You don't
very
tend to
matter of
sugarcoat
fact.
things.
Yeah.
Very matter of fact. And because the audience is a little bit more, on the fragile side. Have you always done this when you became a VTuber? Or did you initially have a
Mm.
little bit of a softer approach?
I think I've always done this because this is just how I speak in general. Like it's not a content thing. It's not like a
No.
I'm trying to stick it to certain types of people thing or anything like
Yeah.
that. I
But I
just
mean, like, you weren't
always
really, not hiding it, but you weren't really like
I was
placating it
always
or
like
putting a
this.
part of it down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I do think this community overall is very soft. And I mean that,
Hmm.
and it's wholeheartedly very soft.
She's
And I
saying you're all
think
soy boys, right? Or soy men?
wee
What's
wee
the
wee
word?
cry babies. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I think people are very soft, which I think isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think that means
No,
that
I
this
agree.
space is very comfortable for a lot of people
Yep.
who
Yep.
have a hard time with that stuff. So I don't even think that's a bad thing. It just means that
Hmm.
people like me, when existing in the space, will sometimes be received in a way where people get like a little like scared
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
it can be a lot for some people, but
Yeah.
that's
But this
okay.
is where your succinctness comes into, and I know you say you're much less succinct than you used to be, but
Mhm.
this is where it kind of comes in clutch again, where because you can usually articulate that, hey, it's not coming from a place of you're not just doing this to be mean, you're
Yeah,
not
I'm
doing this to
saying
be
this
that.
because of
Yeah.
XYZ. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I always try to preface
And you're
stuff
very
like
good with
that.
that.
Or if I say something and someone is like, wow, that was really harsh, I go back and I'm like, let me rephrase this so you understand why I'm
Yeah.
saying it this way.
Yeah.
Like, I think it needs to be
I
said this way, or, whatever I'm thinking on that.
I have I have started being a lot more aware because when I've also been, kind of taken out of context or people get offended. And when I was
Hmm.
younger, I was like, I don't get it. Why are you offended? Like, I said what I said. It wasn't offensive. Like, why are you mad? Why are you
Hmm.
this? But as I grew up, I kind of realized, no, that there's definitely like a tone to my voice or something, or sometimes the way that I can say things. Maybe I can
Yeah.
prep people. Maybe I can be like, hey, what I'm about to say is going to sound weird at first, but let me get to the end. Just like
Right.
listen a little
Yeah,
bit longer before you make a judgment.
like even if I think I'm right logically, like if I say something and a lot of people feel the way they feel about it, it doesn't matter if I'm
Yeah.
right. People felt that way, you know? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
backtrack or anything or you
Yeah.
have to rescind your statement, but it's just like,
Mhm.
doesn't
Yeah.
even mean anyone's right or wrong in that situation or anything like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've definitely dealt with that. It depends on the community, my own community, and then a lot of people on Twitch do just fine with the
Yeah,
way
of course.
I present some ideas. I think it's like people on YouTube and Twitter that have a harder time with it, typically.
Well, we've talked about it before, but um, e- early YouTube and early content, it feels like everyone's always trying to go viral, and like the more viral you go, the better. I'm at a place where I think being at a comfortable space is the best. Anytime
Mm,
your things go viral and they go out of your main audience,
yep. It's always on those
that's when
platforms.
misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it gets rough because those people don't know you at all. They don't know how you speak, so they're just reading your
No, no, no,
tone
no.
as if they're seeing you for the first time because they probably are.
Yeah, they probably are. And they also could be taking it very personally. That's another thing where I used
Oh,
to
yeah.
not understand that, where it's like, you said something, you're not saying it against them, you're just expressing your opinion. But to them, they took it as like, wow, that devalues something I care about or someone I care. I
Hmm.
don't, maybe not someone, but
Yeah.
So, but this is where I've also learned that, holy cow, maybe I'm not supposed to be disconnected to so many people. And the
Yes.
biggest thing that I've done for myself, and you're also so good at it, like,
Mm.
let's say a tweet goes out of its original audience, you mute it.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm on a YouTube video, because I love looking at clips of like, us. I almost said Bishojo, but like, clips
Yeah.
of me with you girls or anything like that. And if I notice that some of the comments are getting a little bit mean about me, I close.
Mm.
I don't need to know. Like, I don't need to read. I don't need to read every single mean comment about me. I'm good.
Yeah, because I personally feel like there's no real value in letting these things even be on your radar when you don't know these
Yeah.
people. They don't know you. Even your viewers who maybe they're not your best friend who knows you super well, they still see
Yeah.
you often and they understand the nuance of how you speak and all of that. So they
Mhm.
if they say something that's way different than some completely random person on YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I find it pretty easy to disconnect when it's like not my own community or like
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily my own community, like people who watch me all the time, but just it's not like the generalized community that is kind of around mine, you know? It's very easy to ignore if they're outside of
Definitely.
that.
Mm-hmm. I definitely can feel that. But that's another thing too of, and obviously I am open to comments, concerns, criticisms.
Yeah.
And I say that, right? Like, for example, I'm doing a show which I'm going to have you on. We're going to be reading stories called Trash Light Confidential.
Hmm.
I asked people to submit their comments, concerns. A concern was, hey, Mata, are you just reading stuff from Reddit? And I said, no, we are getting people to submit stories, but the first few episodes, we're padding up with Reddit stories because we don't have enough. Things like that. I'm always asking. But yeah, there's also sometimes the idea of, just because somebody wants to criticize what I do, like, okay, doesn't mean you
Everyone
get
can
to.
have
Like,
an opinion.
yeah,
Everyone can
you can
say
have your
anything.
opinion. Doesn't mean you need to text it to me or send it to my inbox. If you want to hit me with it, you could. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were cleaning the pebbles. That's the other place here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
Mm.
The pebbles are going like.
Oh, I love
I
that.
love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think with other people's opinions, like I don't care, and it doesn't mean that I don't put any stock into it.
If that goes out of context, see,
I
like that's a
don't.
great
Oh,
example
they
of
could
like
take that out of context. I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Other people's opinions, I don't care. I'm right. You're dumb and stupid and ugly
Grr,
anyway.
grr. Because the thing is, like,
Grr.
if I have my own community around me, And then they have
Mm-hmm.
a second ring of people that are in communities adjacent to mine. They're not really my own community, but they're just like more people around that,
Yeah.
you know? There are a couple layers. If it's people within that and they're all giving a negative opinion, they're like, oh, I don't like how you said this or that, I'll
Yeah.
care a lot more.
Of course.
But when it's like random ass people, hey, you can say whatever you want, but
Yeah.
it affects me in no way, you know?
Yeah. Like it definitely makes a difference, right? Like when, and again, all YouTube comments are great. Okay, wait. All YouTube comments that I've asked for, where I was like, hey, could you please give me criticism and concerns?
Mm-hmm.
They're great. There's been a lot of people that I don't recognize that were like, hey, I'm actually a lurker from the car, and I find blah 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 blah.
Right.
But I will say, yeah, you can tell sometimes when people, because also I feel when people know you, they also go out of their way to make sure that you don't misunderstand their message,
Yeah,
right?
and I feel like
So
you can
it's
feel more
nicer.
confident that it's coming from a place of they want things to be better. They're
Yeah.
not complaining just to complain because they're within a circle that you're within. So
Hmm.
their intent on average is usually like you can trust that it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I've definitely I've definitely kind of not struggled, but I've definitely in my younger years of streaming been a little bit more abrasive,
Mm,
but that's just kind of how I am. Like I
yeah.
kind of didn't realize that the way I talk with my tone, because I'll be like, I'm saying the same thing somebody else is saying, or I'm very clearly making a joke, but I didn't realize that even if to me I think it's so obvious that I'm being sarcastic, that a lot of people didn't take it. So now I'll be like, by
Yeah.
the way, guys, this is sarcasm. By the way, like, no, like obviously I don't think this way, by the way. So I've just gotten better at explaining that
Yeah,
to
like
people.
giving it a little
Which again,
preface first.
yeah. Prepping the area a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely something where it also was unfortunately that part of the internet where like louder equal more funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as the extrovert that is loud, unfortunately, like that is also who I am. Like I am loud naturally, but then also the whole louder equal more funny. Ugh, it
Yeah, I
it's not
can't do it.
great. It's not great.
It's not for me.
Mm-hmm. It's you don't strike me as too abrasive. Well, that's because I'm older and chiller now.
Yeah, people can adjust over time. For me,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm very abrasive. It's just
Oh, you
occasionally I'll be
don't?
matter of fact. Nope. Nope.
See, that was such a like healthy, healed response. Like, nope, nope,
Nope.
you can't get me. I won't be let. This is a trap that I'm not gonna fall for. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not.
I'm not
Go
there.
on. Sorry.
No, I'm just a bit more logical and a bit more like I'm just delivering my words. My
Yeah.
words mean what they mean, and that's it.
My words, they come from God. That's right.
Exactly.
I am the messenger sent here to deliver my gospel to you all. Did you know that right now subs are 35% off?
That's
Go
right.
over to twitch.tv/notgiga. You too can pay for 6.5 subs and give her 10. That's right. You'll be
That's
saving so much
crazy.
money.
That's a
Yeah,
huge
especially that,
percentage.
right? Where when I was younger, I'd be like, and like, that's me saying the word of God. People be like, wait, are you? And I'm like, no, I'm not actually serious. Like,
Yeah.
I'm leading into
See,
a joke.
I'm a bit desensitized to that because I'm from the Northeast, where everyone has really dry humor, and people in other
Hmm.
parts of the country and other parts of the world have a hard time detecting when we're being sarcastic or not. So
Yep.
I think I'm more used to that. So I never had this moment of like, oh, I need to adjust myself because that's just a thing I've always dealt with. You know what I mean?
I
Like it's
will
not an
say,
internet
you
thing for me.
always know. You always know that like I'm being sarcastic. You always, yeah, like
Me?
you always know that I'm just being kind of like when
Oh,
I
I
get in
detect
a
it.
really good mood. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like very silly. I'm like kind of bratty and silly where I'll be like, no, really, you always know. Like I never have to be like I'm joking.
Yeah, it's because
Just
I
be
grew up in an
clear.
environment where everyone's like that all the time, just dripping with sarcasm and nothing's real, so you learn to clock that stuff so quickly.
Yeah. That is. Oh, sorry. Everybody's like spamming the 35% off sub bundles over
That's
5.
right.
Uh, that's so cool that they added that. I have to say, that's one thing Twitch, obviously Twitch, YouTube, that's one thing Twitch has been on their butts about. They have been so good with adding like all the extra bits, all the extra subs that I
Yeah.
love that. Whenever they do those discounts, I'll be like, listen, Momos, I'm being honest here. Let's farm Twitch a little bit. You know, Twitch is giving random subs for every 5 gifted. Let's farm them.
It's time, right?
Let's go.
And that's the thing too. They're adding. I don't remember if this is in beta or rolled out, but you can add in the future your own discounts. So if you want to just do a week or just today and be like, it's 10% off today. I'm doing an event, so it's going to be this percent off. You can just do that. But
so
the thing is,
interesting for the event. Go on, sorry.
But what they're
The
going
thing
to
is-
do is like, so with some promotions, only Twitch loses out on profit and the streamer does not. With that, you just split that burden with them. But it gives you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
So it's even. And I love that because we have things like Patreon, right? Where you pick a tier, you make a tier, you name it whatever, you price it however, you decide what people get for it. You know what I mean? And Twitch doesn't have that level of like me deciding different things people can get. So I really like that they're adding a little more control over it because everyone else allows it. Even YouTube, like your memberships, you can make one for
price them at different
$1.
tiers.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they're doing some stuff like that, which I really appreciate.
That sounds awesome. That you'll be able to pick the different like tiers and the different stuff.
Yeah, because imagine if you're doing a subathon and you're like, for this week, I just really want the subs to be X% off. You know, like you'll actually be able to do that in the future if their test goes well.
But what I was mostly more saying is I really like that Twitch gives you like that Twitch will take the burden. Twitch will take the burden of, so for example, Twitch will often say, oh, hey, you know, like now 35% off subs. That's just Twitch taking the burden. I'm still getting all of my money.
That's the most important. That's what I was saying. The difference with the one you set yourself is like they share it with you, but
They share, which again is really cool.
yeah. Or I like when companies sponsor it. Like I think it was Valorant was sponsoring one, so like it would say that Valorant gifted you subs, or you know.
Yeah, I mean that's every single time. Again, thank you for the gifted, by the way, everybody. You know, I try not to on a day-to-day basis. Never judge anybody who does it. Like people are allowed to do whatever they want to do for their bag, as the children call it. But I do, whenever Twitch does do the really crazy, like you said, the Valorant, and then there was one where for all the bits given, you got 10%. I was like, all right, everybody, spend your bits.
Yeah, you
Or
can
like
make an
now,
event out of
right?
it.
Yeah. Or I'm like, all right, that's what I did. I was timing people out for a day.
Yeah.
So even here, I'm like, all right, everybody, let's start timing people out. Come on. You should
That's
do it.
that good stuff.
You should do something like that.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should.
Maybe you should. You're gonna have a week. You're gonna have a crazy week with it. Might as well.
That's true.
I think we jumped on this topic from ages when I asked you about the game you're gonna play, and you talked about the GTA 5 game that the similar to GTA 5 game.
Oh, Mind's Eye.
Made by the sexy director, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what else? What other games you got for this summer? Or like, you know, upcoming.
I don't know. I'm gonna let the wind take me. I did say Sleeping Dogs. Said I wanted to do. At some point, I will redo a bunch of Metal Gear.
Ooh.
I wanted to do it a long while ago. I was talking to my chat about it, and then that time happened when like every VTuber decided to go and do playthroughs of Metal Gear, and I was like, I can't be another one. They're gonna be so tired of this. They're just watching 2 other playthroughs right now, like, you know. But I'm gonna try to time it with like one of the remakes, and then do
That's
that.
pretty
Maybe.
smart. Are you actually gonna take like a lot of time, like every week you're gonna be doing Metal Gear several times a day, or are you gonna just kind of do a few of the games that you really liked?
I don't know. I want to say I'll just do a few. I don't want to do the whole series. I've already played the whole series. Like, it's not new to me. So I think I just want to play like the really good ones.
That's fair. What are your really good ones in the
Snake
Not too
Eater,
many spoilers because I'm only
obviously.
on 3. That's Snake Eater, right?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, because he was eating crocodiles and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I just want to do the solid series. I'll avoid 5. 4 I could do before is basically just a movie.
Okay.
Um, and I'll probably end it with Revengeance.
Okay. That's the one with sexy Raiden killing everything with a
Mm-hmm.
katana, right? Yeah. Metal Raiden being sexy.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes you gotta wonder of not everything that other people are doing. Like your audience, as you said, they want to see you play something.
Right.
But yeah, during that big Metal Gear boom, suddenly you do kind of worry, like, oh man, are my audience all Metal Geared out?
Yeah,
Are
I just don't
they?
want to tire them out. And because the thing
Mm-hmm.
is, like, I know who my people watch, and if I see some of those people doing a thing that I was gonna do, I'll be more likely to stay away from it, just because I'm like, they don't need to see a fourth playthrough of this thing within the same month.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
What about you? What are you gonna play? Do you have any plans?
So I there's going to be a big update for Crusader Kings at the end of the
Mm,
year, to the point where like they're adding the whole, like, all of China's getting added, Korea, Japan, which is crazy because like they didn't
ooh,
have like a whole part of that map. The game kind of ended where India was, and it was like just kind of starting like around Tibet.
right.
So that's going to be a really huge update. The whole, like, I'm just excited to see how they're going to do the consorts. They already have concubines. Um, but my big problem is I am behind on a lot of my sub goals. A lot of my sub goals for my subathon.
Oh,
So
like completing them?
I really want to make sure I sit down and just lock in a
Do that
lot of them
first.
before October, before the one year,
Yeah,
the 2 year,
yeah.
right? I think once like I start getting them cracked in and open, it's like bam, 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 bam. A lot of them is like reacting to fridge reviews, things like that. Like it's content that is going to be good,
Hmm.
and it does go in tandem with like my YouTube content, so that's perfect. I kind of build it like that,
Right.
where I was like, oh, the Momos would love a fridge review. Let's put that in there. Um, that's going to be a lot. That's going to take most of my time for like the next foreseeable months. So it's hard
Yeah.
to plan. Also, you never know what games are, like you said, there's a bunch of companies that, because of the oversaturated marketing on stuff, there's been games that are like, oh, surprise, we're dropping this game today. And it's the craziest game. Like, who is going to know about Clear Obscure, right? Like,
Right.
people could not have predicted how crazy good it was going to be. So things like
I was
that.
surprised at how many people were playing it on stream because JRPGs, people are usually like allergic to them.
Same, yeah. No, people loved it. And people were playing it on stream for a while. Like it had I think some people are still playing it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I still see some playthroughs.
Mm, but definitely it's hard because plans always change, things always change, right? Like
Yeah.
plans I had last year, sometimes even the industry changes, right? Or yeah, I don't know.
It does.
Is
You
there
know,
Oh yeah.
I was
Go
gonna
on.
say, what's happening a lot for me is this always happens. Quarter one, quarter four, right? Like winter
Mhm.
time. Not that many sponsorships, just some. And then
Yeah.
we get to this time of year, and I've got like, oh my God, I have like 15 different open Discord
Yeah.
threads about different potential sponsorships right now.
Yeah.
And those are just the ones that I said interested on. There's so many I said no, not interested, but like were possible. It's just so fucking many.
That's
And
another
the
thing,
thing
yeah,
is,
where
like,
you're like, ooh,
I'm
go
interested
on.
in a lot of these games because I love like just doing a day one, let me just test this game kind of stream.
Yeah.
I love doing that. So
How
many of
crazy.
them are like looking good.
Like, let's say you get a sponsor for a game that you were already going to play, and now it's a sponsor. Let's freaking go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you are right. That is a big, big, big part of it. Is there still a sense of community on a platform owned by one of the biggest companies in the world? Um, Definitely. I think 100%. I think
Oh,
there's
for
been.
Twitch?
I
Yeah.
was I was streaming on Twitch when it got bought, and everybody was freaking out. This, small VTubers running around. Small streamer scene was big. It still is. Definitely. There's a huge sense of community. Depends where you go and what you do. Like for example, Off Guy, right? Has such a crazy VTuber scene, and there's so many VTuber fans, and everybody's so. I wish Off Guy was around when I was a small streamer.
right?
A convention like Off Guy. I really at PAX South, but it's not the same. But yeah, definitely. I think
Yeah, I
so.
mean, Twitch is a platform. The community is entirely separate from that.
Yeah.
And you see it when platforms die, if that happens to a platform, usually communities persist. They just go elsewhere, and that shows that it's not
Yeah.
like while this could be the home for a community, it doesn't mean that it is anything like or that it isn't anything else. Like it's not completely tied to platform like that.
Yeah. But I think you can always still find like Twitch meetups used to be really big back in like the mid 2010s, right? Of Twitch. It was like Twitch Toronto meetup, Twitch St. Louis meetup, Twitch Seattle meetup, where you
Hmm.
basically went and talked to other people who streamed on Twitch. It was a lot of those.
Yeah.
I actually think I even went to one in I went to one in a million places. I went to some in like New York. I remember I went to one in Chicago, things like that. So
I
it was some
remember them
good
doing
time.
that kind of stuff. That was the thing. I think because there were fewer streamers back then, there was more of that sense of community in that kind of way. Like the streamers did all know each other or know of each
Mhm.
other. But things have grown so much that it's now a bunch of different communities in one spot.
Yeah. But I think it's still the same thing because I remember when I was a small streamer and like there wasn't so many like, you know, everybody was kind of in the small indie streamer group. But now, even though I'm a part of a big community, VTubers, within that community, there's a bunch of little subgroups and like it's still,
Mm,
you can get that feeling again. Absolutely.
yeah. Every time something grows, there's a lot of stuff that branches off as little
Yeah.
niches.
Splinters. Hmm.
Yeah, always. So it used to be that every
Yeah.
VTuber knew each other in like 2020, 2021.
Yup.
Literally all of us knew each other. Um, that's why a lot of folks that you
Now it's
see now
impossible.
that are like big, like they all the big YouTubers seem to know each other. It's because they all started at the same time and did all know each
Yep.
other. Like
Hmm.
that was just normal. But over time, now there's so many VTubers around that I have no clue who they are.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because there's just so many. How could you ever keep up?
Absolutely agree. And I feel like it happens like that with every single kind of niche and every single thing.
Hmm.
It was the same thing when I was in the Hearthstone category and the League of Legends category, things like that. You just meet different people and
Yeah.
I think a lot of times too the sense of community is what you make of it, right? Like if you have a few
Mm.
friends that you're always collabing with and doing stuff with, and then when you go to a convention, you're like, hey everybody, we're doing a little fan meetup at the Hooters, right? Come by. You can always build your own community things yourself.
Yeah. It's about the people. I mean, I don't know any community that ever sprung up without people putting their whole ass into like making shit work. It was always about the people organizing things for free. Like that's how communities have
Yeah.
always done well.
Yeah. Wait, Hooters is going away? What?
Is it? I know they've
The
closed a
reason I
lot of
keep talking
locations.
about Hooters, by the way, it's because I saw a TikTok which was like, I'm going to this like American Made Cafe and it's Hooters.
Oh my god. They're not wrong.
Oh my god, Momos, we gotta save Hooters. Geegoids, are you with us? Momo Geegoid
Nah,
meetup
their
at
their
the local
food
Hooters.
their food doesn't hit.
Yeah, I
I
heard
don't
it's
care about the
awful.
gimmick. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
you could have anyone serving me. That's not the problem. It's the food, man. I never liked it that much.
I had that problem. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings today and I was so excited and my wings were dry. And before everybody's like,
Mm.
did you get a dry rub? No, I got the saucy wing, but I could just tell the wing was like cooked a while ago or they like overcooked it and I'm sad. I'd much rather pay a little bit more and get like a nice juicy wing, you know? It
Yeah.
wasn't a juicy wing. I'm sad. And I know what Giga's gonna say. She's gonna say, girl, Korean fried chicken.
No.
Like,
I'm with you on wings
so
though.
It just sucks. I was so devastated. And the last time I went to that Buffalo Wild Wings, they also had dry wings. I drove all the way to the United States of America, and they had. I didn't drive. My roommate drove, but still, I'm devastated, Giga.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Front window sills. Ah, I see you.
The rear eaves.
Oh, underneath the windows. Ah, ah, ah.
Oh, I see.
Ah, ah. Oh, it makes me sad. My wings, my chicken wings. When I first lived in LA, like 14 or so years ago, I lived down the street from a Wingstop. I would go to Wingstop lunch
Oh,
several days a week, all the time. All
I
of
love
the time.
Wingstop.
Mm-hmm.
I just love wings.
Every
I just love chicken, man.
same. Oh, I talk about it. So obviously, chicken with the sauce on it is delicious. Same with the rib, but I would prefer a really well done rib or chicken wing that tastes good without the sauce than just like a very mid rib that's all saucy. I just like the taste of the meat.
I agree. I agree.
Mm. Do I not live in the States? I am in Canada. But I do part time live in Giga's other bedroom. It is true.
Yes, it's
She
Matara's
said she
room.
has a room. It's just Matara's room. Hopefully, that's another thing. I really hope that I am able to. Obviously, things happen this year that weren't exactly in my plans, and that's okay. That's every year for the rest of your life. But I'm hoping if I actually manage to catch up with everything I'm supposed to do, that I'll be able to freaking go visit my room.
Exactly. It'll be waiting for you.
Visit my
It'll be there.
room. My room. Okay, so the rest is just on the deck, huh? Nice.
You know, one of my cats in particular just sleeps in that room all day.
She's waiting for me. Or he's waiting for me?
He.
He's waiting
There's a
for
handsome
me.
man waiting for you on the mattress.
Speaking of handsome men, did you ever end up asking your cousin if he likes Ukrainian women?
I haven't been able to see him. I gotta check in
Yeah,
with
it's kind
him.
of a weird text to be like, hey, I know it's midnight, but do you like Ukrainian women? Talk to me.
I'm just curious.
How do you feel? I'm just curious for no reason whatsoever. The only reason, by the way, is because Giga said, and I quote, that her cousin is handsome.
He's handsome and he has a great job and he makes a lot of money.
That I don't mind. That I make a lot of money.
Yeah, but
and
I'm
I have
just
a great
saying,
job.
like, it's just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
positive after
Yeah.
positive on top of him being a funny little guy.
I like funny. How little are we talking?
Not little. He's not little. He's actually pretty tall.
I don't mind, but it's again, men. If you are a short king reaching for a tall queen, do it. It's just usually the short kings, they reach for a tall queen once, twice, and then they're like, babe, could you not wear the big heels? Babe, could you? No, I can't. I'm wearing my 5-inch heels.
Mm-hmm.
You better love it. You know? You better.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. How we feeling, geeks? How we feeling on the gaming?
I think that's a good point for me. We did
I
say
think
when we
so, too.
started we do 2 to 3, and I think we're at 240.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect time of yapping. I do feel that there's a natural like point in a yap session where it lulls a little, and I think that's a perfect time to keep us wanting more for next time.
Exactly.
Is there anything you want to tell my momos before I let you go?
I'm planning lots of stuff for hopefully next month. Ooh, I don't know any specific dates.
Yeah.
But I'm planning a bunch of stuff for July. Ooh.
Ooga booga booga. And are you streaming tomorrow?
Yes, I will be.
Nice. What are you going to be playing tomorrow?
Not sure. Probably continuing Mafia 2.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Or maybe doing, I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to be showing the momos my TikToks and giving them my story time with pictures. Then I'll probably be playing some Splitgate. Splitgate 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that's after like a 5-hour yap, because after tomorrow I'm going on a little trip. Only because I have some work to do in LA. I'm sorry, everybody. But yeah, so I want to make sure I get like, one of those like 14-hour streams where you just get out of the stream, you shower, you wake up, then
Yeah.
you go traveling. Like everything's prepared. You're just streaming until the very very end.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's where I'm trying to go. Ugh, I love those.
Me too.
Everybody, wave goodbye. Wave goodbye to Auntie Giga. I'm also gonna call it here. I love you very much, Buki. I hope you have a good one.
Love you too. Thank you for the invite. I'll
Of
join you
course, it was fun.
anytime.
Thank you for yapping. I
Yeah.
love these. I'm gonna steal
Are
you on a
you
million
getting
more.
a Switch too?
Not right now. Maybe
Okay.
maybe once I move. Not right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to put a
For what?
thing together.
Oh, yeah. Count me out of this one. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
I
no,
really
if you
do
don't have it, it's
appreciate you
fine.
asking. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you have a good one.
You too.
Bye, Buki.
Bye-bye. Okay. Okay. Let's go to somebody. I was gonna hop back on Dune, but I need to eat food. We went for a very long time. Originally Mata and I were gonna do this at 7, and then it got moved to 9. So my timing got my timing of when I thought I was gonna be able to hop on Dune was definitely very different. But yeah, maybe we'll raid one of them. Can raid the guys. Do you want Zatark or Harry? Zatark or Harry? Pick one. What are I two for Zatark? Mm. All right. We are rating Zatark. Okay. Thanks all for joining. Appreciate it. I will likely be live tomorrow for the normal stuff. Thanks for long and thanks for joining in. I mean, I didn't have to do anything crazy for V-Rising today. It just we got the game key sponsored, so I wanted to stream just the opening of the server because I do want to play that. The community server is up. It is running. If you are subscribed, you can go get the information in the Discord to join that. And yeah, I think this week we're just going to be continuing a lot of the stuff we've been doing. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to eat. I don't know. Maybe I'll make something. I'll figure it out. Anyway, goodbye. See you tomorrow. We should be doing tomorrow, and I think we're going to be streaming on Tuesday because I have a sponsored thing Tuesday, so no stream Monday, or maybe no stream tomorrow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Bye-bye.